eyes on the beat.
What's up? What's up? What's up, party people? How we feeling today? Cheers to the weekend. How you feeling?
Man, what's going on? Everything
Ain't nothing
good?
much. Everything is fantastic.
Okay.
I'm here with you on a Monday night. What's better
Yeah.
than that?
You know, they call Monday the side Valentine. Sunday at the Sunday was the side piece Valentine. Cause you know you on Saturday, you know, that's
Mm-hmm.
time for your main. And then on Sunday
Mm-hmm.
you get your side chick in.
Get your
And on
side chick.
Monday,
That's what I.
Monday is the side. Right.
It's the
So this
side.
Right, so this side Monday. Shout out to everybody in the chat who
so,
celebrate the
so
side.
did you take somebody out for side Valentine's Day? Is that what you're telling
No,
us?
no, no, no. I'm just shouting out to the people that do partake in that type of thing. I
Did you
don't
take
want to leave
somebody out for a
nobody out.
side day?
Whoever celebrate the side day, I'm just giving y'all a shout out, you know, and wishing y'all a great side Monday.
Oh my goodness. Did you
Right.
celebrate the actual Valentine's Day itself?
No, I don't really get into that. One of the problems that I have is I read too much.
Oh my
And
goodness. Here we go.
sometimes when you read too much, you can't enjoy the things that
Mm-hmm.
people who don't have the same amount of information, you know, sometimes it's better not to know. You
Mm-hmm.
know, even in the book of Solomon, it says sometimes it's better not to know. So, but
This is true.
understanding Saint Valentine's and who he was and what Valentine's is really about, it's hard for me to,
It's a
get into that.
okay. I'm like, isn't
Right.
it not about love? No.
No, it's a pagan holiday. Saint Valentine was a pedophile. You
Oh
know,
my.
the heart shape is the shape of a young boy's booty, and that's what Cupid was a naked young boy who had the arrow because he was trying to
Mm-hmm.
fight the pedophile off, with the
Okay.
arrow. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you
We gonna move
understand,
on.
right, when you understand Saint Valentine's and who he was and what it really represents,
Oh my
it's kind of
goodness.
hard to,
Wow.
to
I
get
have
into
not
that
heard
type of
that one,
thing.
but we
Oh
gonna
yeah. I
we gonna
mean,
move
it's
on. Cause I'm
right,
like, wait, what?
right.
What's up, Bruce? Bruce, how are you? Happy Monday. I hope that you had a
Shout out
good
Bruce.
Valentine's Day with the missus. I hope all the guys in my chat, you guys did something nice for your ladies and your side chicks and your side chicks if you
Yes.
got those too. But you shouldn't have them. Okay,
Side
I'm,
Monday.
I'm judging. You shouldn't have them. Let's get let's get right into it, y'all. All right. You should be honorable and honest always.
Right. You can be honest and have a side.
Well, then it shouldn't be a side if you're being honest,
Well, then
right? Because
yeah,
they
right.
shouldn't be on the side if
Uh,
it's, you know what I
well,
mean.
that can be the secondary. The secondary.
Oh
You can
my.
still have a main, then have a secondary who your main know about.
Oh my goodness, y'all. We're gonna get right into it. Welcome. Just Simply Sports here with me. I'm Katja. If you're new here, it's your first time, welcome. And this is my guy, my homie from the dirty south. Go ahead and introduce yourself for the people if they don't know who you are already.
What's happening?
What's
Enrique
happening?
James is the name. Changing the game is my thing. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
I
talking
like
about.
that. I like that.
Right.
I
So
like
it's,
it.
same suit just reheated.
Uh oh. All right, hold on now. We got that little freestyle or something. Is that what you coming through with a little? You feel a little
I
freestylish
mean,
on a Monday?
you put a beat on, we can do something. It ain't no thing.
Okay.
No,
Let me
I'm a
find out. We
legend
gonna
down
find
here in the
out.
South. Right.
We gonna find out. That's what we gonna do today.
Oh,
That's how
okay.
we gonna close the show. Bruce said Valentine's Day is a scam, but I had to play. Okay,
Right.
as long as you played the game.
Right. Sometimes you gotta play the
As
game.
long as you played the game.
you know, or she gonna leave. I ain't never had that problem, but I understand some guys do have that problem.
Wow. All right, y'all, let's get right into it. NBA All-Star Weekend was this past weekend. Did you guys enjoy? Did you like All-Star Weekend? I'm gonna ask you first. Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed Sunday. Saturday was terrible.
What was terrible?
Saturday was terrible. But Sunday, Sunday was good though. Sunday was, it probably was the best Sunday that I've had in like on All Star in my 41 years of watching the All Star game.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? What's happening today?
I can't see you, but I can hear you well.
Last time, what's going on? Hold on. I don't know why it's doing that to me.
Yeah, and then I even watched the Olympics, the Winter Olympics after the All-Star game last night, and it was pretty interesting. I enjoyed it actually.
Here I am. Hi guys. Okay, you can see me now. What's up, brother D? What's up, Aaron? Aaron, I have not really watched the Olympics. I have not really watched the Olympics. So you guys have to let me know about the Olympics, all right? Because I'm not familiar with that. But get into this All-Star Weekend. You said you thought it was trash? Really?
Saturday was awful.
I really enjoyed the 3-point contest. I did.
See, the problem with Saturday was, I think the NBA did a horrible job of marketing All-Star Weekend this year, and I didn't even realize that the All-Star Saturday was on until I looked at my phone and I saw Dame Lillard had won a 3-point contest. It was like 6 o'clock. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. The All-Star festivities already started. Like they usually start around 7:30 or 8. So then I
threw me off too. I think because the Winter Olympics, maybe? Is that what it was? That kind of pushed everything up?
Because NBC had both the All-Star game and they had the Olympics. So they pushed the All-Star game ahead at 5 o'clock.
Y'all can see me clearly?
Yeah. We can see you clearly.
Bruce said my screen acting up. It's acting up?
No, I see you clearly. Good? Yeah, you good.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I was like, shoot, let me get to the spot so I can, turn on the dunk contest. And by the time I got there, it was a dunk contest, and then it was awful. It was one of the worst dunk contests I've ever seen.
I liked it. I was rooting for Carter Bryant. So
yeah, Carter Bryant should have won. He choked up. He turned to Tony Romo on the last dunk.
That last one, I was like, come on, Carter,
and choked it up. But he was clearly the best dunker of the night. And he didn't win. I was so disappointed. I was like, I'm never watching the dunk contest again.
I think because that last one, you know what I mean, kind of took his score down a little bit because he had it.
He had it. All he
actually,
had to do was
we're gonna show a little bit of highlights real quick, y'all. Let's see if I can do this. Let me share my screen for the people. Brother D, you said it was so. Dang, y'all are hard. Y'all hard to please out here in these streets, man.
It was awful. It was awful. I mean,
did y'all like Ludacris? I was like, stand up.
I didn't get to see Luda. I missed Luda.
You ain't seen Luda? I ain't seen him either. I caught him. I caught him on YouTube.
I didn't start watching it until the dunk contest because I didn't know it was on. So it was. I was like, the NBA got to do better.
Carter Bryant.
I'm not going to fast forward a little bit through this. We don't watch the whole entire thing.
Carter Bryant, our first dunker. Noah, Jamal, Reggie. We are also joined this entire contest by the GOAT of dunking, Vince Carter. He will be with us all the way through, and he's got an up-close look at Carter Bryant, which the two gentlemen to my right are picking to win this thing. The pride of the IE represents. That's a good start.
He started off good. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna fast forward because I can show the whole thing now.
That's a tough dunk.
And as you know, he paid homage to you as well.
I respect you.
Vince, I'm going to be honest. It looks better on replay. It looks better when you slow it down a little bit. You see the leg kick out there.
And here's the thing. These are all first-timers, so
yeah, I'm going to fast forward through some of it, y'all, so you're not watching the whole damn
thing. 1-inch guard from the Orlando Magic, Chase Richardson.
This guy right here, I was like, this guy don't even look like he belongs in the
25th
game.
pick in the 2025 draft, averaging over 5 points per game so far for Orlando. And he's got all that Jason
His mom was in
Richardson
WNBA, right?
pressure to come with it. His
I don't
dad
know
won
nothing
in
about this
2002 and
I was like, who is
2003.
this guy? This guy
Here,
was.
Vince, give it
I
up
thought
support.
this was somebody who was smoking weed on my couch just last week. Y'all like, who is this guy? This
And he got it.
homeboy from the crib.
Hey,
Break the ice.
Get a score.
This is what you want to do, and make your first dunk, right?
And it's only 6.
Out of SoCal.
Hey, and here's the one thing about this. Now, you've
This
seen
guy
two
was
guys
the
that
worst.
come
I
out
was so
and
upset with this guy.
fake
He
dunk.
is
Let's
just
say
the
that.
worst.
Now, he's won dunk
And I
contest
think
before.
Dwight Howard had a
Here,
thing for
the
him.
whisper that he has
I was
some
like,
stuff
him and
in his
Dwight
bag.
Howard got
Do you be
something going
aggressive,
on.
or do you follow the suit and go past it? What you guys
He
think?
I think he should come
maybe
bring.
he
You're
did.
gonna
He
bring
thought he
out
could
the
win a dunk contest. He thought it was a dance contest.
And I met
I was
him
like, come
yesterday.
on, bro.
This is
Like,
him.
He's
He has
swagger. He's got
energy.
that
He had
swagger.
the whole time.
Can give you this for a better deal on that.
Why you
Bring in
hating?
your
he's
AT&T
the
or
worst type
T-Mobile
of
bill
dude.
for a better deal.
I just, and then the fact that he won, I
It's
was
the
like,
own-
I'm
it's
done.
the tone.
I'm done with this.
Yeah.
He said, he said to me, he said,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Let's see
So
what
what
you
that
got.
tells me
And
is
look at
he's
you.
going for it.
Right, I'm
Yes,
thinking
he
he
is.
couldn't
He's
do something
bringing it.
great.
Yes,
I'm like,
he is.
okay, look at he
Big shot
couldn't do
Johnson
something great,
taking
then that's what he do. I'm like,
He gets two
Come
more
on,
attempts.
dude.
Okay.
Come on.
I
like,
like
come
that.
on,
Now
bro.
we know. I like that though.
He could get that dunk, though. He could do that. He could
How
pull
you
that off.
like
got
that
up
and
it.
he
got up
missed?
for it.
E40 should be
He's
ashamed of
still
himself
bouncing
for
around. He got
catching
any
this
time.
guy.
Or any time. He got that energy.
Oh, he's confident. He feels he's winning this thing.
Oh,
He's winning this thing. That was the wrinkle.
That's it.
Show
Show
me
me.
stick a little Dougie in there. Behind his head.
Yeah.
And
Terrible.
46.
the excitement
Was
that
that
he
on
has.
replay?
Oh, look how
Sometimes he has to
high
bring
he is.
No, it wasn't better on
Yeah.
replay.
That's like
Yeah, he didn't do
Hit him
nothing.
with the Dougie,
Yeah,
though?
I like that.
Vic,
Yeah.
look at the
No?
replay. Oh,
Terrible.
yeah.
Awful.
Okay.
That's
He's still He's still there.
I'm going to fast forward. We'll go to Jack.
Highlights. If he does that
Oh, he
between the
was
legs
the worst.
right now,
Well,
that would be
James
the
might
best
have been the
dunk in
worst.
this first round. The best.
But he wasn't any
That
good.
would be, if he does it on his first try and goes between his legs. That's a 48.
That's what he's going with.
I have the feeling he's going for it. He's going for it, being the biggest guy.
No,
Nothing.
no between
That's
the
a
legs.
pick and roll.
What
Luka
happened? He got
drops it
caught.
off. He gets it and he just dunks it for
Let's see
two.
right here. Take another look.
Watch the stutter.
Why are you
Well,
even
that's
here?
a 42. That's a good.
Yo. You going in on over there. Let me come out of here, y'all. I'm not gonna show the whole thing. I just wanted to show some of it.
You should have
Dang.
showed when dude fell. Oh my gosh, when he almost cracked his cranium on the court. I'm like, come on, y'all are
You were laughing
NBA
at that?
players.
You were
Yes.
laughing at that?
Yeah, after I seen that he was okay, I laughed
Oh,
because
okay. After you saw he was okay.
right. I'm like, dude, you're in the NBA. There's no like somebody like me supposed to do something like that,
Uh-huh.
and I wouldn't even do nothing like that. It's terrible.
Look. When you were first time, I could imagine. I'm like, obviously, I'm not a dunker. I'm not an NBA player, but I would imagine your first time doing it. You know what I mean? Especially for like the rookies, like for Carter. Like when you're like first time doing it, everybody's like there looking. Like I could imagine. You know what I mean? Like your heart's like beating really fast. Well, it's one thing to do it in the middle of a game, you know, with your teammates or whatever, because you know it's less pressure. But in that kind of environment, everybody's sitting there ready to score you and all these different things. I could
Everybody.
imagine, like, you know. I'm gonna
They
give
only
them
had like
credit, though.
500 people there. Like, wasn't nobody there for that
Oh, stop it. It
NBA.
wasn't just like 500 people, but still, you know what I mean? Like to still sign up and to still do it, you know, I mean, like a lot of people don't want to sign up for it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like you kind of got to take what you can get. Like that,
Yeah.
Matt McClung. I don't know if you guys saw the clip. He showed the dunks that he was
Yeah.
gonna do. Did you guys see it?
I
You know,
saw
I
it.
think
He would have won
probably would've
again.
won.
Easily.
I think he probably would have won. Yeah, but you know, I guess he's like, look, I'm tired of just being the dunk contest champ, and you know, I can't really get no time, no spot on the actual team. But like I said, I'm gonna give them credit. If you compare the dunk contest now to what it was back then, obviously it's not the same, you know. But the players don't have the same mindset. The ones that you really want to see dunk don't want to participate. So it's like either you're gonna take what you get, or just do away with it altogether. What you
Yes,
think?
yes.
Do away with it. Just done with
Do
it.
away with it all together. If just like the NFL Pro Bowl, if the best players don't want to show up and participate, then just get rid of it. and it's fine because don't nobody want to see that. Don't nobody want to go to it. Don't nobody want to watch it at home. Just
Mhm.
go ahead and get rid of it and put
Mhm.
something else in play. Like I like Unrivaled had the 1v1. Now
They did. Mhm.
maybe the NBA players, maybe a 1v1 might work. Because
In
in the
place of the
1v
dunk contest.
yes, because in the 1v1, you don't have to have your best players. You can
Mhm.
have those 15, those guys who are 14, 15 on the roster because it's one-on-one. We just want to see.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Two people in the league going one-on-one. It really don't matter who it is. But when you talking about the dunk contest, I mean, you had legends in. I mean, Kobe did it. Jordan,
Mhm.
Dominique, Dr. J. I mean, the
Mhm.
list goes on and on of the greats who participated. Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Steve
Mhm.
Francis. I mean, and now you got guys that don't even get in the game. Guys who averaging less than 4 points a game out there want to dance. Come on, bro. Like ain't nobody got time for that, man. Nah,
So
get rid of it.
you saying he can't dance. He's got to come out and just be like, hey, just dunk. That's it.
I
That's just
mean, he
laser
danced.
focus.
He was dancing so people could focus on his dance moves instead of them whack ass dunks he was doing.
Wow. Wow. Y'all are hard to please in these comments. Dang. I'm glad I wasn't out there. I'd have went home crying if I would have saw the comments. Who do you think would have made it interesting?
Uh, maybe Zion, Ja Morant. Um, maybe the kid from Utah, the rookie kid, the young kid, Ace Bailey. Maybe he got some hops. Of course, Ant-Man. Ant-Man got all the hops in the world. He could have made
Mhm.
it interesting. So you talk about the star players. Yeah, I think those are some of the names that would have done well in the contest. And I think Carter Bryant. I mean, I really liked him in it. Now he was the lone bright spot of the dunk contest. He just choked off at the end, but those other dunks he did, they were all really good.
Yeah, I like Carter. I'm glad he's finally getting. If y'all watched the Spurs play, he's finally getting some playing time. Before he just sit on the bench, just cheering everybody on. Now he's actually finally getting in the game. So I'm happy for him. Taco, who eating tacos? Check out going on in this chat. um, for me, look, I said like if the players, I think at this point, you're not going to make them get in there, right? Because they don't want to hurt
Right.
themselves, So either you're gonna have to give them some, like pay them, you know what I mean? Something that makes them say, okay, I'm gonna sign up for it, or you're gonna have to just take what you get. And for me, there's a pro and a con because obviously you want to see your main stars out there, right? But it does give people who don't we don't really get a chance to see as often get a chance to show what they're capable of. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. You know what I mean? But it does give them an opportunity for those who necessarily get one because no other players obviously are more at the forefront and the focal point of the team. So I like it for that. If you're gonna step up and do it, then go ahead. I also said I think it was last year, maybe the season before, I can't remember. I had posted it here on my channel. I was like, how about you just get some guys from around the way, do some kind of contest. Let the folks from the streets, from the hood, come in and actually do a dunk.
Right.
Some of them actually really, really good. You'd be
Oh
surprised.
yeah, they really good.
So I mean, that might be a liability insurance wise. You got some random guy coming in there, God that they get hurt, kind of thing. But it might be interesting though if you're gonna can go about that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that'll be a good idea. I mean, I'm looking at guys like Keyshawn Johnson and Jace Richardson. Y'all don't play in the real game. Y'all should just be practicing dunks. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't come into the dunk contest with 8 dunks that are off the chain, that jumping out of the gym, things we never seen. You don't have you're not doing nothing else. You're not getting in the
Mhm.
game. Work on your dunking and perform in the dunk contest. I mean, shout out to brother
I think
D.
I think Kashad, he said he found out like 2 days before that he was gonna be able to do it, so I don't know how much time you need to practice your dunks or whatever, if you gotta do it months in advance or whatever, but I'm not gonna go too hard on the young fellas. They went out there, they tried, and I'm gonna give him a give him an E for effort kind of thing. You see, Brother D's in the chat saying what's up to you. I don't know if you see
I
it.
said, well, shout out to Brother D. Shout out Brother D from Jerusalem. Man, how I'm not gonna remember Brother D? Yeah, he
Not
go
from
all the way back to
Jerusalem.
Bethlehem. I mean, that's Brother D.
That one live is never gonna go away. We never
Nah,
gonna live that one down, man. That is hilarious. Oh man. All right. You said you didn't like the 3-point contest. How come?
I didn't watch the 3-point contest. Like I said,
You didn't look at the highlights either? Hold on.
oh yeah, I did see the highlights. I saw the highlights of Dame doing his thing, and I was like, okay, he got hot. He went off. That's
D Book
Dame.
did good too, though. It got real close.
Yeah, he didn't win though. Dame got super hot at the end, and I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. You know, he hasn't played a game all season, but he has been rehabbing and shooting
Do y'all
threes.
follow him on Instagram? He is always
I
working.
do. Yeah, he's always working. He's working and putting out rap albums. Right. So
I'm not even
you know,
surprised that he won.
No, not surprised. I mean, he's one of the best shooters in the game. I mean,
Mhm.
Steph Curry, after the 3-point contest, I saw him saying that he wants to get back in it next year, and he wants Clay to be in it, and he wants Dame to be in it, and he want to have a final showdown. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to look forward to for next year. You know, I think they also, one thing I think they should have done was have one of those WNBA girls in it again, because that time they had Steph Curry against Sabrina, it was really good. And Sabrina, anybody other than Steph Curry, she would have beat that day. Any other man in the NBA, she would have beat that day.
And she would beat Dame? I don't think so. I don't know.
I mean, on that particular day that she faced Steph, she would have beat any other man in the league that day. But I don't know if the NBA is afraid that one of these women would beat the man in the 3-point contest or not. But I would like to see another contest. I would like to see one of the girls, or maybe you even put her in a 3-point contest and see how they perform on that stage, because I just think it adds a certain amount of extra pressure to those guys, because no guy wants to lose to a woman, especially
right,
on the grand stage. So
what do you think about, like, we think about like a duo, like Dame and Steph versus Sabrina and Caitlin Clark?
I mean, I think that'll be good. Anything where you can intertwine those women with the men in basketball, because shooting is one thing that doesn't take a lot of athleticism to do. You know, it's just shooting. It's hand-eye basket coordination. And I think anytime you can, because the WNBA is owned by the NBA, so go ahead and put them together, and you can put extra light on those women and promote their product while you're doing the NBA guys. So I don't see a takeaway from allowing those women to be a part of the NBA All-Star game. I mean, All-Star weekend in that capacity.
Well, it got to be the ones that you want to see, though. People want to see Caitlin. They want to see Sabrina, because like they're known for like shooting threes. If you're going to put somebody in there that nobody like really, respectfully really wants to see like that, you kind of doing the same thing like you do with the dunk contest. It's like, who's that player? Who is she?
Well,
it's not really like you know what I mean?
I mean, if the girl, even if she's unknown, if she got the game, then this is the way for the WNBA to say, no, this girl right here is the best shooter in the league. Watch her. And then she goes out there and ball. I mean, right. And so that's what we want to see. We want to see the best. Regardless of who the name is, I want to see the best. And if it's a girl that doesn't necessarily have a name, but she's the best, well, this is the way. This is how you market those players and put her on the spot and let everybody know, no, this girl right here is the truth. Y'all need to start knowing about her.
The best, or the ones who are, I'm not gonna say the best, because there's a few that are really good at shooting threes. We know who they are. I was referring to those that we don't really know, or not know that could shoot threes, but they aren't necessarily as good. Is what I mean.
No, we want the best. You got to send the best, because you trying to knock off some of the best male shooters on the planet. If you're gonna get Dame and Clay and Steph, you better bring the top.
You better bring
top guns, right?
NBA versus WNBA 3-point contest.
I don't know if they get, but I don't know. However, it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to see them on that stage and put pressure on men to perform.
Wait, hold on. DJ said I'm the same height as Matt McClung. He could dunk himself. He could dunk really well though, in spite
Oh
of how
yeah.
small he is. Pause.
I mean, he's the best dunker in the world right now.
Just move All-Star Friday events to Saturday. Do it with All-Star Saturday entirely and play the game on Sunday. Buddy says refresh your memory. Bruce said hello, brother D. If you ain't see it in the chat. Hold on, let me go back up because y'all got a lot of comments in here. Go back. Bruce said the women are busy with Unrivaled and other leagues. Yes, put WNBA against the NBA. I like that too. I'm with you, DJ. I like that. It is going to be in Phoenix next year. Yep. You'll be boots on the ground. You going to go for that? You going to go in person? That's what's up. Gender doesn't matter when it comes to shooting. Okay. I'm here for it. Here come Bruce. He said, I disagree for the women to come in right now. They have their own leagues and should stand on their own. At this point, it's disrespectful, really? Why would it be disrespectful, Bruce? You got to elaborate on that. DJ CC in the 3-point contest would send ratings through the roof. Yeah, it would because we haven't really seen her a lot last year. She got hurt and stuff like that, and then she came back. She got hurt again. So, yeah, they people want to see her now. They haven't really seen her, and people if they could come see her in person too, like they really would come out, to watch that. So that would definitely sell some more tickets for sure. All-Star Weekend NBA is close to the Pro Bowl. Dang.
I disagree with that, but the Pro Bowl is the worst.
WNBA is supported by the NBA. Somebody said, "How do we donate?" Y'all know what? When I get off here tonight, I'm gonna looking how to do that whole monetizing thing.
I told y'all send to my cash out at Enrique Slim. And
go ahead, go ahead.
I'm gonna break Katja off.
He put it in the chat last time. I forgot about that. Yep. My mom said, hello, brother D, if you ain't see her. Oh, he did see her. Okay. UJ said, yes. Watching the Clark shooting bricks is not watchable. Oh my. She can shoot threes, y'all.
I would love to see Caitlin Clark go on the big stage and shoot bricks. It just adds to the storyline. I mean, even if she went 20 for 20 or she went 1 for 20, like either way, it adds to the storyline. It gives you something to talk about the next day. So it's no losing. It's only winning.
I was thinking about I thought about Sonia Citron too. I like Paige as well. There's quite a few that can shoot some threes now, 6'2" ain't small. Okay.
No, 6'2" is pretty tall.
I mean, in terms of when you think about regular guys, yeah, exactly.
But on the street, 6'2" is tall.
But you think about NBA players, it's a little on the smaller side, like for sure. I was looking at they were taking pictures, and I was looking at Luka was sitting down, Joker was messing with him, and then we were standing next to the Joker. He made the Joker look so small. I was like, oh, how tall is the Joker again? It was like this, sitting next to Wemby the way it looked. It was crazy.
Right. Wemby is a real giant.
He is for sure. We're gonna move on though. I'll get back to you guys' comments in a little bit. We're going into the All-Star actual game itself. Like, did y'all like the game? I really liked the game. Did you like it?
Oh, the game, it was the best
the
All-Star
first three
game
specifically.
I do the totality. It was the best All-Star game I've ever seen.
I like the last one. I don't know. I was like, did the OGs get tired of that last game?
Yeah.
What the heck happened?
It was so telling, that last game, because all the old heads, except for LeBron. LeBron was the only one, and he's 41 years old, and he still had juice, and he still was able to. That's why I like this man. Is amazing. Like, I people can, there are 6 guys who can be argued as the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
But LeBron James is definitely for me. I haven't seen a better player than LeBron James, and I've watched them all. I watched Jordan, I watched Magic, Kobe, and all these guys. Tim Duncan. I didn't get Kareem. I got to watch him, but he was at his last. He was winding down his career when I was watching Kareem. But as a historian, I researched and did my homework on them all. And for me, I think it comes down to Kareem and LeBron when you talk about the GOAT conversation. I don't even for me, it doesn't come down to Michael Jordan and LeBron. It comes down to Kareem and LeBron and Magic. But Jordan is definitely in there because he was all that in a bag of chips, whatever you want to say. And shout out to Michael Jordan. He just won Daytona 500 yesterday. He got another ring. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to winning, Michael Jordan is definitely that guy. But LeBron is amazing. But KD couldn't hit the front of the rim. Kawhi, he spent all his gas in the game prior to that, right? And they were done. And those young guys ran them out the building. But the OGs played great. The first two games they played,
that third game they couldn't do nothing with
the right.
They couldn't do nothing. Like I was like, okay, I was like, you know what? I was like, all right, Kawhi showing up for the millennials. All right, let's represent. You know what I mean? OGs. You know what I mean? Show the little youngins how it's done. And then Kawhi was like, okay, I gave it all in the third game. I need somebody to come along. The fourth game, I ain't got no more gas. And that was that. I was surprised. I think I went to the kitchen because when the drink came back, I was like, wait, what the heck is going on with this score? I was like, where's everybody at? Like, what happened? Everybody said, we done? That's it for the night? We done playing? I'm like, Adam, you got all you gonna get from us. And that's it. We ready to go home. I was like, what happened? My respect for Wemby. I'm gonna read y'all comments in a second, y'all. Hold on. I see something, but I'm gonna read it in a second, y'all. My respect for Wemby grew. I so much respect that he really cares about putting forth the best effort no matter what, like really competing, putting on the show for the fans. Like he takes his job so seriously. Like you could tell actually really matters to him. Like he's not just there just because, it's just basketball. Like he cares about, playing and also the off the court stuff as well. So shout out to him. He was mad about that first game. And I was mad too. I was like, how you give him a 3? Who gave him the 3? Right. I was so mad. I was mad for him.
Yeah, I mean, I just wish women would play like that every night.
You don't think he plays the same intensity every night?
No, he doesn't, because a lot of nights he want to be KD, he want to be Steph, and he want to bring the ball up and shoot threes. Last night when he was showing that he wanted to win, get to me on the block and just let me go dunk on these little guys. And that's what I want to see you do. And maybe come playoff time, that's what he'll do when it's really winning time and it's time to go and get it. Maybe he'll just say, give it to me on the block. And I'm 7'5". I'm just going to dunk over these little guys and get easy baskets. Or you going to send me to the free throw line because there's nothing you can do with me. And when he was doing that last night, I was like, okay, that's the Wemby I want to see. Of course, he's always going to be a terror on the defensive side of the board because
because that block, I forgot who shot he blocked. I was like, oh, watch your head.
Right. I mean, he has his length is undeniable. I mean, pause. Right. I mean,
because I was like, wait, what?
He's wiping everything off the glass and he forces difficult shots. But on the offensive end, I don't want to see him shooting a bunch of threes and coming down, dribbling between his legs because he has handles for a big man, but you don't have handles. You just too tall. And yesterday it showed it was a few times where they was able to strip him because he has to bring the ball from way up here to way down here. So just get it in the post, duck under, come up, dunk on these little guys, 2 points, or you go to the free throw line. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think the world would have played better
if they had their people.
Yes, they were missing
key people. They missed SGA, like Giannis, the actual starters in the league. Like they all were out, like all of them.
Because Luka and Jokic really played like 2 minutes. They didn't really, they didn't really play. So when you missing Luka, Jokic, Giannis, and SGA, guess what? Those are the best 4 players in the NBA.
Jamal Murray, I was like, dude, you tired? Like, I was like, wow, he just was here yesterday.
He ain't that good. I mean, I'm glad that he made an all-star like as a career achievement, but he's really not an all-star caliber player in my opinion. He's a good player, but he's not an all-star caliber player in my opinion. But Jeff Teague made it one time, so Jamal Murray can get in there one time.
Wow, that's disrespectful. Not putting him.
No, he's just not that good.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the
Jamal.
Nuggets. I watch the Nuggets all the time. They're one of them because Jokic is like, as soon as Russell Westbrook retires, Jokic is gonna be my guy. So I like to watch the Denver Nuggets. And Jamal Murray, he just ain't that good. I mean, he's solid, but he's not all-star caliber, in my opinion.
Okay. I think he really, for me, I think he kind of showed up more than I expected, if I'm being honest. When Joker got hurt, instead of that leadership role when he got hurt, because I mean, Joker was out, Christian was out, AG was out for some time. You know what I mean? So you really got your chance to see him step into that leadership role, step to the forefront. And they won more games than honestly I expected.
I like Jamal Murray. He's solid.
Yeah,
he's solid. I like him.
But I think that it would have been more interesting if you had the world had all their players,
Right.
When he was out there by himself. I
think they would have won it. I think they would have won it without
tell, like when Wemby came out, of the game, it was like the rest of the world team kind of just dropped down energy. I was like, y'all, what happened? Like, where's the energy at? Ant-Man. Did y'all see the introductions? Everybody was like saying their name, where they're from. Ant-Man was like worldwide. I was like, this guy is hilarious.
ATL, shouted.
You from ATL? You not? No.
Yes, ATL. ATL worldwide.
But he showed up. Usually he's like last year he was like all-star. It was some time off. But he followed Wemby's tone and he said it. You know what I mean? He's like, Wemby set the tone. Right. You know what I mean? So Ant-Man's a competitor. He don't want to just lose. So he's not going to let you just go crazy on him. You know what I mean? So he's like, oh, you playing? So I'm gonna play too. Kind of thing. I enjoyed it. It was a really good watch. I would have loved to see the world versus the USA Stars in that final game because the OGs had no more to give. They was tired. I was like, they was tired. They were ready for bed. It looked like. So I think it would have been a little bit more competitive just because when he was there. But overall, I like it. I hope they keep this for next year. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, they need to. If this is the type of performance that we can expect, the type of excitement that we can expect out of an all-star game, we can see the best guys go with it. I mean, you
actually put some effort. Thank God.
Right, you got to see a guy like Wemby go out and show that yes, I'm that guy. When you put all the guys out here, I'm that guy. You got to see Kawhi show you like I'm that deal. When you put all the guys out here, I can get hotter than anybody. You got to see Ant-Man like I'm a star amongst stars. I mean, he popped off the screen. That's what the All-Star game should be about. When you put all the stars out there, and I got to give LeBron James too. LeBron James to be 41 years old, I'm like, man, this guy still is that deal. Like, so when you put all those guys out there and you see who rise up amongst those guys, then you can say, okay, this is why he's that dude. This is why he deserves all the accolades and all the praise that he's been given. Because when you put him out there amongst the greats, he's the greatest. So I really enjoyed that.
I did too. I'll read some of y'all comments now because I see they going down. Are y'all ready for the second half of the season? Who's your dark horse in each conference? Dark horse mean to win it all or just like get to the playoffs? Let me know what you mean. I'm gonna come back to your comment, Aaron. All right. Bruce was talking about what you said about LeBron. All-Star. You said it's the best All-Star game you ever seen in a long time. You said he said, "But need to clear your glasses, bro." Bruce.
Yeah, I think for the 4 quarters that they played, that was the first time. Like I watched, like I said, I've been watching the All-Star game for 41 years, and usually, the first 2-3 quarters they just lollygagging, and then sometimes the 4th quarter, definitely back in the day, they kind of compete. But this was competition in the 1st quarter, the 2nd quarter, the 3rd quarter. The last quarter they competed, they just ran out of gas and they got blowed out, but it wasn't due to lack of effort. You know what I'm saying? So this was the first All-Star game I watched where every quarter was competitive. So.
I didn't think that 4th quarter was competitive. To me,
it wasn't competitive. but it wasn't due to lack of effort. They just didn't have the legs. It wasn't like they were like
Yeah,
Olay
but
on
some of
defense
them.
and just letting you go through.
Yeah, but I
They were
mean, honestly
trying.
speaking, in that third game, Kawhi was the one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm looking at Jaylen Brown. I'm just like, dude, where you at? What's going on? What happened to you? I mean, like Kawhi pretty much carried the team in that third
Yeah.
game.
I
So
mean, once the
everybody
man
else
got
should have been a little bit fresher now.
right, I agree. Great, because when Kawhi got hot, those guys
It was just
start.
there, just give him the ball. Yep.
Yeah,
There
they
you
were like,
go.
"Here you go, like go
Yep.
ahead, do your thing," and that's what you're supposed to do when a man get hot.
Yeah,
But
you should. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
right.
Thank you, brother D. OMG, LeBron fabricated greatness is great. Oh, we're not gonna do LeBron James debate today, y'all. Cream of LeBron, LOL. Uh-oh. When you have panel coach, I want to come and debate Mr. James about the GOAT. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't do GOAT debates.
Brother D said, I'm not debating you, Bruce. Include Wilton Chamberlain in that GOAT conversation. LeBron
Yeah.
and Wilton's careers somewhat parallel.
Well, when he heard me say, he just didn't hear me name them all. I said there are 6 guys that can be debated as the GOAT. Wilt Chamberlain is one of those guys. When you look at the numbers, I mean, he may be the greatest athlete ever to play basketball, and he's put up numbers that in every time you look at some guy breaking a record or up there in some sort of record, it's always Wilt Chamberlain by a whole lot, then the next guy. Like Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell are 2 of the other guys who could also be argued in that GOAT debate. But I just didn't name all the guys. But yeah, Wilt Chamberlain was that dude. And I think he slept with more women than all of them combined. So happy Valentine's Day to Wilt Chamberlain, man, for real.
Oh, what's going on?
Side and side.
Wow. Okay. Brother D said, I don't debate. It is who I always knew he was. Is that a good thing or bad thing, Brother D? Bruce, here he goes with LeBron, Shannon Sharp praise. LeBron is not that dude this year, the greatest fraud. Brother D says Steph should have been the face of the league. I think maybe because LeBron is there, so you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean Steph.
To me, those two are. When I think of the league, I think of LeBron and Steph. Me personally.
Yeah, Steph is like and no knock on Steph. Steph is all time great, but he's like Prince. Unfortunately, Prince came up through the era of Michael Jackson, so he's always gonna be second. You know what I'm saying? But Prince was all time great too. Like who gonna knock Prince? And that's what Steph is to me. Steph is the Prince of his generation, while LeBron is the Michael Jackson of his generation.
Yeah, no, but I feel you though. Who is your dark horse in each conference to go deep in the playoffs? Okay, now do you go first? I gotta think about it.
My dark horse in the East would probably be the Atlanta Hawks. I think the Atlanta Hawks are deep. They have a lot of talent. They got a lot of things to fix as far as chemistry and getting the defense where it needs to be. I mean, I like Atlanta and Orlando, I would probably say, but in the West, a dark horse for me in the West would probably be. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because it's a lot of good teams. If I say Houston, people were like, Houston isn't a dark horse, but I don't think Houston is a true contender. I really think the West only have 2 true contenders. That's Denver and OKC. But maybe maybe Houston. I can't right now. I need to think on that a little bit more. Maybe the Lakers, the dark horse.
Yeah. In terms of the West, for me, I'm gonna go Clippers. For me, they're my dark horse. That could make some noise. And when it comes to the East, my dark horse to go deep in the playoffs, specifically deep, I'm gonna go Cavaliers.
That's a good one. I think they're
Those are
favorite.
my 2 dark horses. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
My favorite right now is obviously Detroit. I liked them last year, but like I said, right now those are my two dark horses. I'm gonna go Clippers and I'm gonna go Cavaliers. The two C's, CCs.
Yeah, maybe Minnesota. Maybe Minnesota could be a dark horse with Ant-Man, coming off the All-Star MVP. Maybe maybe he can, rejuvenate the franchise, and maybe he can finally get the trophy that everybody looking for a guy like him to have,
Hmm.
which is the NBA championship with a finals MVP. But I can definitely concur with you with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
So let me know who you got. Who y'all got in the chat? Who y'all dark horses in the chat? Drop it. Let us know. DJ, I want to see the All Star game in NYC. I would love that too. Since I'm here, LA has too many big events. They need to allow other cities to host. Yeah, 'cause they also got the Olympics there, right? In 2 years coming up.
Yep.
Um, I like it better when it's like out the country though. Me personally. Um, my mom said we appreciate you guys watching. We also appreciate your support. Do hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Shout out
Please
to
and thank,
mom.
please and thank you.
Shouts out. For real. Hit that like and subscribe button. For sure.
Wow, Wilt, yes, Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, Will
Who's
that guy.
trash? Who's trash? You talking about Ant Man?
He not talking about Wilt being trash, and he can't be talking about Ant. Maybe he's
You
reminding
talking about
himself
Ant?
to take out the trash.
You my who? Because you said Ant's always who I thought he was, and I said, "What you mean? You saying he's trash?" Because I'm like, hold on. Another is 75%. Great. Double violation, naughty. Double
I don't know what that
violation.
means.
Yeah, because y'all dropping in the chat. I'm like, because I'm going back and
I
reading
don't
this
know
while I'm
what double.
re-listening to stuff. Steph is not Prince. Steph is MJ, and James is Bobby Brown.
Yeah,
Not Bobby Brown.
you know, that's the beautiful thing about LeBron. He's so polarizing. You got a lot of people like him, because of his greatness, but
Mhm.
because of his greatness, all the greats, whether it's Floyd Mayweather, whether it's Michael Jordan, whether it's LeBron, they're truly great because you got a lot of people who don't like them because of their greatness, and they just don't, for whatever reason, they just don't like them being that great.
A lot of people copied MJ and still do. A lot of people copy Steph. The league copies Steph. This is true. This is
Yeah, yeah,
true.
yeah. I mean, it's a copycat league.
Detroit. Detroit's a dark horse. How is it possible? They're number one in the East right now. I wouldn't consider them a dark horse. Not the way they're playing right now. Now, if something happens and they kind of fall off a little bit, is one thing. But right now, to me, they're miles ahead in terms of the East right now. I mean, you could say the Knicks are a dark horse, because they've been kind of up and down this season. Like they were starting out good,
The
then they kind of
Knicks are
hit like a little
trash.
patch, and then they got better, and then Jalen Brunson was hurt, so he missed some games, and then Jordan Clarkson was playing, and then now he's sitting. So I'm not even sure what they got going on right now. I'm a little bit
Nothing.
confused, if I'm being honest. You want to hit the cash button, okay? Lakers, dark horse. Prince and Steph is double violation. Okay.
I don't
I
understand.
was
Both are great artists at what they do. I don't understand how Steph and Prince can be a double violation. They're all time greats.
well, for me, when I think of like the greatest ever to like perform ever, dead alive, any century, like decade, whatever, generation, for me it's always gonna be MJ and then everybody else. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. It's
Um,
MJ and then there was Prince. I'm not gonna diminish what Prince did because of MJ's greatness. I know what MJ was, but Prince is
no,
that dude. Like Prince was I mean, if there was no MJ, it would have been Prince.
I was a little witness and talker out of the rabbit hole. Steph is Drake. LeBron is Kendrick. Okay. Steph is no Drake. Steph respect teenage girls. Oh my. All right, yo.
I think he's just saying Steph is light skinned and LeBron is
No, I
dark.
know it. While you guys read too late, it throws your comments off. Yeah, but y'all had a lot of comments in here. I wanted to make sure that we got through this topic real quick before we went on. All right. Speaking of this, we're gonna move on a little bit to Ron Harper. Dylan Harper, his dad, Ron Harper, obviously
Mm-hmm.
one of those guys back in the day. Um, he has some comments because he played. They did. Was it the Rising Stars Challenge? They did.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was the Knicks did it. Jalen Brunson. And his dad did it with Kat, and then who else? It was obviously Ron Harper. And Dylan. I forgot his brother's name. And who was the other one? I was like, why y'all out here? I forgot who it was. I was like, what's going on? But anywho, they asked him a question, and he kind of threw out a straight LeBron. I was like, dang, Ron, why you say that like that?
And a lot of these guys, even when you
Because
go
of
back to LeVar Ball, those guys at the top, man, that's who you gotta. If you want to get your name out there, you gotta poke the bear. You gotta hit the guy at the top, and LeBron is at the top. LeVar Ball, his thing was LeBron and Michael Jordan. So that's sometimes that's the formula to get your name out there. You gotta attach it to greatness.
Enjoy the game, and whatever they can get back out the ball game, we will take it. Once upon a time, I told him whatever opportunity that you have, you should have a chance to play in the NBA.
Was this a vision you had?
I'm not LeBron James. I'm not going to tell my kids what they have to do. I just want my kids to play and enjoy the game, and whatever they can get back out the ball game, we will take it. Once upon a time, I told him whatever opportunity that you have, you should have a chance to play in the NBA.
All right, y'all. I was like, what? His kids were like, Dylan was like, oh man. His son was like, oh man. I know this
Because
is
he
going.
gotta still see. He still gotta see LeBron.
I know this is gonna trend. They're like, Dad,
Right.
come on, man. Like, really? Like, you retired,
Right.
man. Like, we still got to get out there and see these folks.
Exactly.
Like, so I was like, oh God, really? Not today, Dad. Not today. What did you think though about what he said though? I'm not LeBron. I don't tell my kids what to do. What do you think?
I mean, I understood what he said. You didn't have to embark LeBron's name into this conversation. You could have just said, I'm not gonna tell them what to do, but if they want to play basketball with the training that they have, I think that at some point they'll have that opportunity. He could have had the same message without saying LeBron James's name.
Yeah.
But again, when you attach your name to somebody like LeBron, now we're talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. Social media is talking about it. So
as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh man.
Right. So
it's gonna be
it kind of gives people something to talk about. And now nobody's thought about Ron Harper since he won championships with the Chicago Bulls. Nobody's thought about Ron Harper. Now Ron Harper, all of a sudden, he's relevant again. So I mean, okay, but it was unnecessary. But I get it. You want to attach your name to greatness.
How many championships does he have again?
3, I believe. He won the 3 on the second of the 3 peats with Michael Jordan. Ron Harper was a really good player. Ron Harper was with the Clippers. He was an all-star player with the Clippers. I mean, when you talk, people like to talk about, sometimes people say the Bulls didn't have, no, the Bulls had great players. Definitely on that second 3-peat. They had Ron Harper. You had Dennis Rodman, Pippen, Tony Kukoc, Michael Jordan. I mean, they were stacked. You talk about a super team. They had a super team. And they won 3 straight championships with a super team. It wasn't like Michael Jordan was out there just winning with guys how LeBron was when he had J.R. Smith and Eamon Shumpert and Kevin Love and those guys. No, Michael Jordan played with a super team.
He has 5.
Oh, right. He did. He did.
3.
Well, they didn't win.
With MJ and Pip, and then 2.
Right. Yeah. That is correct. He was in the latter end of his career. That's correct.
For me, I was just like, what LeBron got to do with this? Like, what's going on? I'm like, answer your question, say what you gotta say. I think it would have been nice if he would have like focused on his sons, and having that moment because that was pretty dope. You know what I mean? To
Right.
retire, to get a chance to come back and compete. Not in the same regard as LeBron, obviously, but still really kind of challenge with your sons. You know what I mean? Not one, but both of them. So I
Mm-hmm.
think he could have kept that as the focal point because not many get a chance to do that. I think that was kind of that was for me was special in itself, at least for their family. I think he just kept it about that, as opposed to bringing LeBron in there. It was given petty. I'm like, y'all got some kind of issue that we don't know about. Like, what's going on?
Right, right. I mean, it was unnecessary, like I said, and I agree with you. You just enjoy the moment that you have with your sons, and
Yeah,
and your sons are gonna be some decent basketball players. They're gonna be better than Bronny. So you got that part. But come on, man,
even
you
they
don't.
just catching strays the whole weekend, huh?
Right,
Like,
right.
I think Dylan's gonna be better than his older brother, personally.
Yeah, Dylan got game. Dylan
You know,
is the truth.
yeah, my son made me watch him all the way in high school, so huge Dylan Harper fans in this household. Okay, like all the highlights, all the games from Don Bosco. Dylan's playing. Let's watch it. So I'm like, okay, Elias, let's watch the game. LeBron or LeVar. Oh, who you got?
Oh, I got LeVar. LeVar, the greatest of all time. I love LeVar Ball, man. LeVar Ball,
Hmm.
he's the best trash talking father in the history of sports. And LeVar got he got two kids to be top 3 NBA draft picks.
Hmm.
That says a lot. So yeah, I fool with LeVar. I like LeVar.
He did not stutter when he said that too. No, he damn sure didn't. Kaj, bring Bruce up. You mean like live in this chat for the debate? Not tonight, y'all. We're not gonna have no LeBron versus
I don't do
MJ,
GOAT debates.
Wilt bait debate, and so
Yeah,
on and so forth.
I
No,
don't
no,
do
no.
GOAT debates. The way I see it is whoever you think is the greatest of all time, I agree with you. If you think it's Jordan, I'm not finna sit here and argue against Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was fantastic, fabulous.
Mhm.
He was everything. I mean, I'm not finna sit here and my problem is people who argue against LeBron James being the GOAT,
Mhm.
instead of arguing for their guy, they always gotta throw shots at LeBron. Well, he didn't do this, or he this, or he can't do this. And that just says a lot to me because if I argue LeBron as a GOAT, I'm just gonna argue based on his merits. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
tear down Michael Jordan because I think LeBron is the best. I'm not gonna tear down Wilt or tear down Kareem. They're all worthy. They all
Yeah.
are great players. They all did things that were spectacular in this game, especially in the time they were playing. They all did something different that
Mhm.
each of the next guys didn't do. They all elevated the game to the next level for their era. So I don't do GOAT debates. I mean, if you think Michael Jordan is the greatest, I think so too. If you think Wilt the greatest, I believe that too. I think Kareem is the best. I think Bill Russell is the best. So I'm not finna sit here and debate guys on as being one GOAT.
Yeah. I mean, look, teach his own.
Right.
Like, y'all, teach his own. No matter how many times you debate this, it's gonna be somebody that falls on this side, somebody on that side, until the end of time. You know what I mean? So hold on. Destroy him not. And I say he's not doing no GOAT debates. You said it was LeBron and Kareem that should be in the GOAT debate, not MJ and LeBron. But
Yeah,
the D said,
for me personally, when I based on, what I've seen and the research that I've done, like for me, the GOAT debate comes down to Kareem and LeBron. If I had to just pick two guys to say which is better than which, but with that being said, Magic is in there, Kareem, Wilt, Bill, and Michael Jordan definitely is in there. I think Michael Jordan gets more. I think Michael Jordan gets a lot more credit because out of all those guys are big men. Michael Jordan is the smallest guy when you talk about the GOAT debate. He's probably
Why nobody ever put Kobe in these conversations? Kobe's like always left out. Why is that?
I don't put Kobe in it because after my top 6 guys who are all in the GOAT debate, my number 7 guy is Tim Duncan. I don't think Kobe Bryant was the best player in his era. And you can't be in the GOAT debate if you're not the best player in your era. He wasn't better than he didn't impact his team the way that Tim Duncan impacted his team for 20 years. And so I put Kobe Bryant right after Tim Duncan, but right before Shaq. So my 7, 8, and 9 would be Tim Duncan, Kobe, and Shaquille O'Neal. And then 10 can be whoever you want to have, because a lot of great players, you can put Steph at 10. You can put, whoever, Oscar Robertson at 10. Whoever you want to put at 10, I'm fine with. But my 7, 8, and 9 is Tim Duncan, Kobe, and then Shaq. So you can't be in the GOAT debate if you're not even the best player in your era.
I'm going to go read some of these comments. DJ said MJ sneakers are better.
Yeah,
okay.
That's arguable.
I respect your opinion, but I disagree overlooking James' failures.
Well, they all had
I'm
failures.
sorry, you cannot be a GOAT and have a losing record in the finals.
That's ridiculous.
Hold on, because like y'all coming through the comments. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure I read them all as I'm talking about it. Because he's a Michael Jordan clone. Because they are dumb. You talking about what I said about Kobe Bryant? Series. Brother D said, "Stop, Naughty." DJ said Shaq was the best player on the Lakers.
Right.
Brother D said, "How about the Kobe debate? Kobe not being included." And then Bruce said, "Y'all still hear me? Because y'all going in and out of my end."
Yeah. I can hear you.
You cannot be a GOAT and demean your team. You can still hear me? Okay. You cannot be a GOAT and demean your teammates publicly and quit on them when they get injuries. And they get injured. And then DJ KD and Kawhi have a similar resume to Kobe.
Now Kobe is way better than those 2 guys. No, Kobe is I put Kobe way ahead of KD and Kawhi. But
I don't know what's going on, y'all.
Yeah, but Kobe, unfortunately, he played with Shaq, and Shaq was the better of the 2. And they won championships. They won their first 3-peat. Now, Kobe did something that was very controversial. He had them get rid of Shaq so that he can be the man and prove that he can win without Shaq. And he did it. I mean, Shaq won without him first, but he did go on to win 2 championships, and he ended up with more rings than Shaq. You could argue Shaq is better than Kobe, but I'll just give Kobe the nod over Shaq because he stayed in shape. He was able to play longer and produce more. Shaq kind of broke down early because he just didn't have the Mamba mentality. That Mamba mentality means something to me. It's one of the greatest things that I've ever seen.
Wait. Hold on. Nah, let's be respectful. Respectful too. You don't want this cyber smoke. Oh, they come for you in the chat. They come for you in the chat.
Hey, don't be respectful to 8. What are you talking about? I love Kobe. Kobe was that dude. I mean, I got in. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times, these guys, because when you talk about the greats, you got to nitpick because they're all great. They're all time great. But you gotta kind of nitpick. But what I don't do, I don't sit there and bash a guy because to prove that another guy is better. I don't do that. I can just go off what a guy did. I'm a Kobe supporter. I love Kobe. Especially number 8 Kobe with the afro. That Kobe was that dude. You know what I'm saying? So, and what he brought to the game is undeniable. I got nothing but love for Kobe. I just can't put him ahead of Tim Duncan. for what Tim Duncan was able to do with the Spurs in that
He's
whole
just not.
dynasty.
He's not in one of your goats.
No, he's definitely not up there with Michael Jordan and
So he's just not one of your
LeBron,
goats.
and he's right in that next level. He's my number 8 guy. He's still top 10. You talk about top 10 out of 300 great players in the history of the league. He's number 8. Like that's I mean, I don't know what people want. Like that's amazing. Like for him to be the 8th best player to ever play in the NBA out of all the players that then played in the NBA, thousands. He's in the top 0.1%. But guys get mad when you don't put a guy
Kobe
where
only
they have a guy.
Kobe only won 2 championships as a number 1 option, the same as KD and Kawhi. Respectfully, you males sound like bees. I'm not going to read the word. LeBron had a snake mentality, but not the Mamba one, respectfully. Bruce, more to nitpick with LeBron than any so-called GOATs. DJ, if KD had a brush, she would be top 3 all time. So, yo,
I don't know what that
what's
means.
going on? LeBron is the 9th greatest player of all time for me. Okay. Gosh, can you let me up, please? We are not doing GOAT debates today, y'all.
I don't even know how that's even possible. I don't even for somebody to put LeBron as the 9th greatest player of all time. That's not a person I would even debate basketball with. I'm not even interested in it. I remember one time I was locked up, right? And a guy in jail, he didn't want to talk basketball, and he told me that Tracy McGrady was better than Kobe. I told I don't want to talk basketball with you no more, man. It's all good. Like sometimes it's not gonna be worth it for me to even talk to certain people about the game. I mean, you got LeBron as number 9 all time. Like clearly, you just don't like LeBron, and that's fine. It's just not something that I'm interested into going back and forth about.
So it's not possible that someone could have Wilt, Kareem, MJ, Shaq, even who they might feel legit or just better than LeBron.
Yeah. I'm okay with you thinking that Wilt, LeBron, not Shaq. No, not Shaq. But if you want to say Wilt,
I mean, that's throwing a name out there. Tim Duncan. You know what I mean? Like,
no, you're right. I'm not. We can't. No. And I love Tim Duncan. He was my favorite player in the NBA. But no, it's not the case. That's just not how it works. But if you want to say, Jordan, Wilt, Kareem, somebody like that, then I respect it. But to put that man all the way down to 8th or 9th, like, come on, man, that's not even. We're not even really talking basketball now. We talking about personal feelings towards a guy. I don't do personal feelings. I don't care how I feel about a player. I go by his game on the court, and I just let that do the talking, and I leave my emotions out of it.
Well, I mean, the same way you feel like that, though, somebody could feel going by, different players and different eras in their game. They could be like, well, they might be. I mean, I don't know.
No, I feel what you're saying.
Who has ahead of him? I'm just giving an example.
Right, you're absolutely right. A lot of times when people have these debates or whatnot, they fail to mention what criteria are they going off of. And I find that it's funny where they'll say, well, he got this many rings, but then I'll be like, well, Bill Russell got 11 rings, and one of those rings he got while player coach, and they won 9 straight. Like, but you don't want to put Bill played in the 60s. It's always some caveat. So I'll be like, just what criteria are we going to go off of so that we can be consistent when we're having these kind of conversations? And the criteria always changes.
All right. Oh, y'all. DJ, to be honest, I can't give an objective opinion. Did not see MJ or anyone below his generation play, only highlights. I'm here for it. You got to be honest if you didn't really watch it. No, I didn't really watch Tim Duncan play and Will Chamberlain and stuff like that, so I'm not going to debate that. I tell you what, Nadi, I will inbox you an invite to a Philly sports show in 2 weeks.
Anytime, let me know. I'll be there.
Katja, where do you see Tyreek Hill? If Tyreek Hill goes, oh, yeah, they did get rid of him, right? Considering I can't talk about basketball, can I ask this? Honestly speaking, I don't know. He has a lot going on, or he's had a lot going on off of the field, and come back from that nasty injury. I don't know. He's also getting a little bit older. You know what I mean? His production hasn't been the same. Now that could be because of him, it could be because of Tua. It depends on how you look at it. So I don't know where he's gonna go. Brother D said, "Let me up, and you will know the criteria." Y'all can do that in 2 weeks on the Philly Sports Show.
Right. Hit me up. Let's do it.
All right, y'all. Moving on. All right, Adam Silver. Word on the street, word around the NBA town is that he is considering eliminating the NBA draft. I don't know if y'all saw posted about last week. He issued some fines, to Jazz and also who was the other team, the Pacers. For quote unquote, sitting their players and tanking allegedly, for NBA, draft positioning, tanking so you can get higher, seating, in terms of the draft. What do you think about this though? Let's just say I don't think he's going to limit the draft altogether, but what do you think though about him considering allegedly?
No. I'm sorry, Adam Silver. I don't see how this is gonna do your league any good by eliminating the draft. The draft is just the whole event itself is a spectacle. You make money off the draft. It adds revenue to the NBA. It's something people look forward to. These kids have been watching players get drafted for years, and they want their moment to be able to be
Shine,
drafted. Yeah, just get your name called, and your family is there, and everybody get to take the pictures, and you got drafted. It's a deal.
Good night. I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat. Good night, brother D. Good night.
I'll let you, brother D. But what I would consider is reconstruct how you do the draft. The reason they do it in the NBA right now, they have a lottery. They don't go by like the NFL does. The worst record get the first pick. They don't do that. But a lot of teams, the problem is because of this lottery situation, teams know I just need to be bad enough. If I'm bad enough, then I might get the luck of the draw, and I might win the lottery. So what I would say is, and this, I don't know if it's a great idea, but I was just thinking, I would have it where those middle teams, whatever the middle is, I guess it's 32 teams in the league. So from 14 to 22, you have the best chance of winning the lottery, because those teams are actually one player away from being a really good team, where those bad teams, even if they win the lottery, they're still going to be bad next year. You're years away. So I would have it where teams got to compete. You got to compete to be, if you want the number one pick, you need to finish in the top 20, the top somewhere between 15 and 22. You need to be in there. And if you're in there, you have a chance to win the lottery. If not, if you're going to be one of those teams that's going to be at the very bottom, then you're not going to get the first pick in the draft. You're not going to get the second pick in the draft. You're not going to get the third pick in the draft. Now you can start to get the fifth, sixth, and all that kind of thing like that. But we're going to reward teams that are one player away from being a really good team. And that's going to make our league better, as opposed to some trash team getting the number one pick, and then they're trash next year, and they're back in the lottery, and then they're trash again next year, and they're back in the lottery. You should not be allowed to be in the lottery 3-4 years in a row.
For me, as opposed to doing it from a specific standpoint of teams with a bad record, teams in the middle. For me, do it at random. Put everybody, all the teams' names in a little ball, whatever have you. Toss it up, put it around, move it around. Whatever team comes out, whether you got a good record or awful record, that's who gets. That's the order it goes in. You know what I mean? And going about your business, because the way it's going now, I wouldn't want you to eliminate it. Like you said, the players who have been dreaming, working so hard all their lives to get up there, shake his hand, commission his hand, and have their moment, with their family and so on and so forth. That's what you dream about. You know what I mean? I heard a lot of players say it. So I wouldn't want that to take away from what they've been working so hard to achieve. Obviously, one part of it, should I say, not the whole only part of it. But for me, I'm like, take away the whole, where you got to have a bad record, a subpar record, like the point, people are still paying their money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you still got fans still paying their money. Whether you got fans that still come to support teams that got the worst record in the league, they still want to come. They're still paying their money. And to my knowledge, you're not really giving discounts based on the record. So if that's the case, then I expect everybody to show up and still compete and not tank on purpose so that you can get the best AJ Devanza or Peterson or whoever it is that's coming out, a Caleb and so on and so forth. So for me, I'm like, just do it at random. And if that means the best player goes to, I don't know, the Lakers, or he goes to the Celtics or whatever it is, then so be it, because that needs to stop. The intentional taking, sitting all your players, with the load management thing. You got fans who are there flying from different countries and states to see a player play. They're sitting down perfectly fine, healthy, fully dressed, laughing, joking on the bench. And you sitting there like, what? Like, I pay all this money to come see such play. And they got the whole starting lineup just sitting down, and you watching, the bench of the bench. It's like, come on, I didn't pay for that, respectfully. I said with respect, because they're still NBA
Right.
players. But I didn't come see you play. I wanted to see Luka. I wanted to see LeBron. You got Luka and LeBron sitting down. You got Austin Reeves sitting down. I didn't want to see Jackson Hayes.
Right. Correct.
Like, I didn't come to see him. So respectfully, okay. So how we doing this? So for me, something does need to happen now. I don't know how he's going to go about doing it. We shall see if something changes this year, maybe like next year. But I'm here for him, being a little bit more stern, no pun intended, when it comes to this, because something needs to
Right.
shift now. Let's get out of control.
Yeah, some definitely needs to shift. I mean, I probably wouldn't do it like the way you just said. I wouldn't do it
At
like that.
random.
Yeah, because I can't have the top team getting the number one pick, because what that does, it could potentially stifle a young man coming into the league. Because
Hmm.
if you get drafted by a team, let's say you go to Boston. Boston is one of the better teams, and now
Yeah.
you coming in as a young star, you expect for you to eventually it'll be your team. But when I got Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, I really don't have the time to be developed. I'm gonna have a young guy who's gonna be in a Jonathan Kuminga kind of situation. We're
Hmm.
trying to win now, but you the future, and we gotta develop you. We gotta kind of stifle your growth. It'll be better for that young man to go somewhere where he can be developed, where he can be the center of attention for a franchise, because that's why you drafting a guy number one, number two, and number three. You want him to be the centerpiece of you building your franchise around, so you can start winning championships. And if he goes to a Detroit where you already got a Cade Cunningham and a Duran, like, where am I going to fall in the pecking order? I need to go somewhere where I can actually, develop and thrive into that guy. And a lot of times, but I do believe that can happen if a person gets drafted in a team that's in the middle of the pack, you
Hmm.
know, or even a bottom feeder, but
Hmm.
definitely a guy, where you can go contribute right away.
Hmm.
Some of those middle of the pack teams, they just need a AJ or a Peterson to go to the next level. So it's almost like Philadelphia. They got Edgecombe because they were so bad, the year before,
Hmm.
because they had injuries to their top guys.
Hmm.
Well, Edgecombe has come in and he's been able to contribute right away
Yeah.
into what they already have. And now, Philadelphia has played better than this year than I expected them to. I still don't
Joe
believe
Wall's
on them.
he's been out there as well.
Right. I still don't have great expectations for the 76ers, but they are a lot better than I thought they were, because they were able to get a guy who can come in and contribute to their team right away. So but yeah, definitely Adam Silver has some things to figure out, but it's really not on Adam Silver. I really don't like, you know, people put a lot on these commissioners. They say, well, where's Adam Silver doing and where's Roger Goodell
Yeah.
doing? We have to remember that these guys work for the owners. The owners make, at the end of the day, the owners make these decisions. They have owners meetings at the end of every at the beginning of every off season. The media is not invited. You know, they try to report what happens after the meetings are over with. They can't go in the meetings. They don't know what's said, but what's said in the meeting is how the league is going to run, the new rules, and what they want to do going forward. The pressure should be on the owners to make changes, and then Adam Silver will be able to do that. But I mean, he can't really do much without the approval and of the owners. So that's who a lot of this should fall on. It should fall on the owners. Adam Silver is doing the best that he possibly can. The same way with it.
He's definitely trying.
Right. Same way with the WNBA commissioner and the FISA, you know, put that letter out and tried to, you know, dog this lady.
But no, she's a whole different story.
Yeah, I mean the same thing. She works for the owners, you know. Like
she's not in the same boat to me. Same job title as Adam Silver, yes, but I could see a clear difference in Adam Silver trying to do something and Kathy Engelbert doing nothing. So I'm not going to put her in that conversation, that category at all. I think she actually should be booted up out of there. I agree with the FISA wholeheartedly.
Yeah, but I just don't think you got a lot of people don't understand. It's unfortunate, but the NBA owners don't care as much about the WNBA as they do about the NBA. It's just the truth of the matter. They're not putting the energy into the WNBA.
Yeah, but there were certain comments that she made in the FISA, allegedly, according to
both
the FISA,
of them made.
that she said no to her directly about certain things. So
I agree, and I think the FISA made some comments that she shouldn't have made. You know, especially when you start talking about things that you had in a private conversation with a person, and then you go put that like that was low. You know,
I don't mind it.
I know you don't mind it because we don't mind it. We don't mind it because we want to get information. We want to get all the deep secret information.
No, that's not why I don't mind it.
Right,
that's not what I'm saying. I don't mind it.
I don't appreciate people. If I have a private conversation with you, and me and you have a private conversation, then next thing I know, you're going to tell everybody, I'm gonna have a problem with you because we had that conversation in private.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you told me some stuff in private, you would not appreciate if I just went out babbling my mouth to everybody about things you told me in private.
If me and you are friends, that's something different. But Kathy and the FISA, their thing only goes as far as business. Like there's nothing personal. There's no loyalty at all in terms of, you know, them having the conversation and keeping things private or amongst the two of them. Now, from the FISA's perspective, she came to her a few times, you know, and addressed certain concerns that the ladies were feeling, that she wanted, or they would like to have seen some changes with in terms of safety and, you know, and things of that nature. And, you know, Kathy would say whatever she said, but, you know, she felt like she wasn't taking her seriously or really hearing her out. And based on the comments that, according to Nafisa, that she told her, you know, she was like, okay, in order for her to really take her seriously, bring it to the forefront to the public. That's why she went there after addressing it, according to her, because I wasn't there, you know, behind closed doors a few times and nothing being done. Now, if me and you are friends, even if me and you fall out, I'm never going to share with anybody what you told me because me and you were friends. And if we don't speak ever again in life, I'm not going to go out there and violate you like that. But in terms of business, this is a business first. You know what I mean? You have your job. I have you're looking out for your interests.
Right. Well, I can understand. I can.
Okay, you kind of clicked. I clicked out. I don't know what happened. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that from a business perspective, and I think in that situation that Nafisa was being very she was being very crude to the point where, because she came in like, this is not about Unrivaled, but it was. You just wanted to promote your league, which is fine with me. It's business, but you went low to do it. But sometimes in business, you take the low road, you know. And I just thought she took the low road and to promote Unrivaled and that type of thing, which is like you said.
I don't think it had anything to do with Unrivaled.
Well, she mentioned Unrivaled a lot in that statement. Right. She mentioned Unrivaled a lot in that statement, in the statement she was making. Well, if it wasn't about Unrivaled, you sure did mention it a lot. So, you know, I don't know. I like Nafisa. She's one of my favorite WNBA players, but I just
I
like
mean,
to be
because
objective when I'm talking
because
about, you know.
because that's her thing. That's her and Stubby's thing. So people are gonna
Right,
assume, when you mention you're saying what you're saying it because of that. So I understand why she felt the need. I wouldn't have done it, but I understand why she felt the need to kind of disclose and say, okay, this is not why I'm saying what I'm saying.
right,
But if I've come to you like when you, I don't know how many of y'all have your own business or whatever, but when you have a grievance, with your boss, you know what I mean, or your supervisor, your coworker, your first thing is you go to your manager or you go to your
right,
shift lead. And if
right,
they don't hear you, you go higher up, depending on who's next. Your chain of command. You go to your shop manager. You go to your regional manager. And if those
correct,
things really don't get settled, then you typically go to HR. So
right,
I don't, like I said, I don't know how I wasn't from the present, but if what Nafisa's saying is true, when she went to her a few times and addressed her concerns, and Kathy kind of laughed it off, and she said things that were disrespectful in her presence, in her face
right,
outright. I can understand why she felt the need, like her back was against the wall, because we got the deadline
right,
approaching to get this contract and these negotiations settled. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. But Unrivaled they make way more money in Unrivaled than they do right now in the WNBA, and they do it all
yes,
at one time in Miami. They do it for a short amount of time, and then they're going about their business. But I feel like the WNBA, I know that it hasn't been as exciting as the men's sport, but there's so much that has been, for me, that's been missing in terms of how they could have promoted that, how they could be marketing it. And I'm not gonna say that's all on Kathy Engelberg. I'm not gonna do, But these ladies have been asking for more money for a while. In terms of the hotel stays. The Chicago Sky used to share a local gym. A locker room with regular gym, like regular. I'm not gonna say regular people, but people who are not, uh, public figures. I'll put it like that.
right,
That who does that? Like who's in the same gym locker room with regular people as you have, professional athletes like that. You at local rec centers and whatnot having practices and not proper facilities, things of that nature. So that's more so ownership thing, obviously, because you got to put those things in place for your players. But they're talking about overall, just things that they want for themselves.
right,
Maternity leave, because they do get pregnant. Everybody's not gay. There are
right,
straight women
right.
in this
They they
league who
they
do
they
get
get
pregnant,
that right.
so
They get maternity
so
leave, right,
yeah. Yeah, right now they're not really
right,
getting much of nothing. So,
right.
like I said, I
Well,
wasn't there for all the conversations, but they
let me
want
ask
answers. They
you.
want things done.
I want some answers. Let me ask you because I don't really have the information right now. But how is the collective bargaining agreement going with the WNBA right now? Aren't they
Right
aren't they
about
due to sign a new deal?
they were been due. They were been due to sign that. The original deadline was back in October. Fast forward, they've been kind of extending it and pushing it. I think Adam Silver addressed it actually, I think yesterday or over the weekend. And I forgot what he said verbatim, so I'm gonna have to read up on it real quick before we got out of here. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But at the moment, they have not come to an actual legit agreement. Like they're still on opposite sides. So I think
Right.
at some point Adam Silver's gonna have to step in. They're gonna have to do something because it'll be time for their season to come around. I think their season starts in
Exactly.
May. Then they
Right.
have their draft. Like their draft is like again, their draft is like 2 weeks before or a week before the season starts. You know what I mean? Like,
Correct.
they want more roster spots. They have all these players. There are so many like young ladies that can play now. Like women's sports and basketball is like just growing. Like the numbers. You know what I mean in terms of popularity, and they don't really have any roster spots for players to play. Then you got the vets who place like their late 30s. A lot of them are taking up spots, and younger players
Right.
can't play. They get signed, they get waived like the next week, and then they're just kind of sitting there trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that goes into WNBA, and everything is not on Kathy. I'm not going to say it is, but the things that she can control, like try to control it. You
Well,
know what I mean?
the biggest problem with the WNBA is the fans. The
Well,
WNBA
they're there
needs people.
now.
Yeah, but every team is not. You got the Indiana Fever. They're doing really great with Caitlin Clark, but all these teams are not
Liberty is
doing
doing good too.
right. The Liberty is
Liberty,
doing good.
Minnesota. Hmm.
Right. I believe is Dallas. I think
Phoenix.
Dallas might be doing well. Yeah, but these teams need the fans to support them. if the fans create all the leagues, that's what fans need to understand. You are the real true owners of the league. Without your dollars, these leagues don't work. Without your dollars, these players don't get the 20 million, the $200 million contracts. These women are not going to be able to get the things they want if the fans are not putting dollars into the product. You have to make money in order to be able to allocate some of this money to them. It's going to be very difficult for them to get the things they want when the WNBA loses money every year. It's just not when it comes to business, it's just impractical. So, but what they need to do a better job of marketing the NBA.
Here we go.
And one thing I've always said, which it seems to be frowned upon, when it comes to women in this country, controversy sells. You know, for whatever reason, the housewives of Atlanta, the housewives of Houston, or wherever, New York or whatever, I think it's all trash. But guess what? They get the ratings. People watch. People want to see women being messy, and I think the WNBA needs some of that. I think part of the reason why Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese were able to put a lot of eyes on the product is because you saw two women in college who were being messy. And you were like, I want to be a part of that. I want to see that.
Black and white as well.
Right. And black, that plays a big part of it.
That's the biggest part of it.
Because in the WNBA, unlike the NBA historically, a lot of white girls are really good in WNBA. You know, they're just as good as the black girls, if not sometimes better. So you're gonna always have a situation where it can be black and white. But whatever the case is, it just needs to be a little bit of drama involved in it.
Well, if you watch this season, there was plenty of drama. Yeah, there's plenty of things that took place.
Yeah, but
they need on the court.
Oh yeah, but that was the fans doing the dildos.
No, I'm just saying.
If one of the girls came in with a dildo and pointed at another, that would be like, oh, what's going on?
There's quite a few things that happened. You think about the fight that took place with Sophia when Sophie Cunningham when she was taking up.
Right,
Caitlin
she was taking
Clark,
up for Caitlin.
Against JC Sheldon. I mean, she kind of headlocked her and knocked her down.
Right,
there was a lot that went on. With Nafisa, when she got hurt, and then her coach got escorted out. Because Alyssa Thomas, who was my MVP by the way, the way she people kind of blaming her for injury. So Kalia Copper, her wig, came out in the middle of the game. Like there was a lot of things that happened. A lot of things that happened. Then you had the Studbuds who had their podcast, kind of taking over the whole league. For me, they're actually a lot of fun. You know what I mean? If you really watch them, you got to see Kathy Engelbert dancing. And at the little party they had there also. I said, let me find out Kathy letting her little hair down and having a good time.
And you had the Becky Hammond story.
Yeah.
When she traded old girl because she got pregnant and all. See that these kind of stories need to be.
They dropped that now. Both sides they
But it was a talking point. It was something that should have been brought more to the forefront.
But that's what I'm saying. And there goes the ESPN part of it and whatnot, because they don't want to cover anything outside of Caitlin Clark. You know what I mean? Caitlin Clark had 35 points. She had 10 assists and 10 rebounds. But there's so many other things that go on. If they would actually talk about it, you might bring more awareness and people might actually care more, but they don't want to talk about it.
I agree. I think a lot of times these networks are afraid to talk about it because anytime you talk about anything involving women, it's a very sensitive topic. And as a man, you have to be on eggshells because if you say anything that is halfway controversial, oh, he don't like women or he don't like black women or he don't like, we need to sell the sport and we need to sell this drama. We need to sell this controversy so you can put eyeballs on these characters and on these games. And you like somebody or you don't like somebody, so you want to see them lose. But it's so hard, definitely for a man to talk about, well, she got pregnant during the season, and what do you think? And some man says, well, she should be better. And then, but she's a woman. And then you got people attacking them because he has an opinion on a woman. I think women topics right now are is very sensitive. And as a man talking about some of these subjects, they have to be very, very careful or they get put in a category of he's chauvinistic or he don't like women or he's this way or he's that way, when really I'm just trying to sell the game, you know. So
Well, the ladies want to be treated with respect. They want their talent to do the selling, from forward. They don't want to be like, I think Shaq, when he was on Angel Reese's podcast, he was saying ladies, they should dunk in these little like shorts or whatever have
right,
you. Like a lot of them, like there are some who are straight, there are some who are not. They're not
right,
going to go out there dressed like that. You know what I mean? Even the ones who are straight, like they want a ball. They're like, we can hoop. We want to be known for our talent, not necessarily for our, good looks, if you want to call it that, or our bodies. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the men, when I did hear the men talking about it, it was the ladies are jealous of Caitlin Clark and how talented she is. I'm just
right,
like,
right,
everybody's not jealous. And if I'm in the WNBA, I'm offended by that. Like don't just because they I think a lot of times the way they market it, it's like the way they put Caitlin Clark to the forefront. Like the way they did it kind of diminished everybody else. Like you can uplift one without degrading the other, and that to me was the part that was missing. It's like, okay, Caitlin Clark is so great, everybody else just be grateful. Like don't stop hating on Caitlin Clark.
right,
Stop doing this. Like other ladies, like what are y'all talking about? Everybody's not jealous. A lot of us actually do like her, but y'all make it seem like we have all this animosity towards
right.
her. You got the gays supposedly who are against her because she's straight. They don't want
Correct.
nobody straight in the league. So those kind of things are offensive, and it's not helping them, and it's not helping their league at all.
Well,
Asia Wilson did so many great things this season, and
yeah,
I kid you not. Whenever she did something that was great, they gave her like 20 seconds of talking
right,
time. Caitlin Clark has one good game. She's won nothing respectfully because she hasn't, and she
right.
gets 5-10 minutes of a segment. I'm like, come on, y'all.
But that's what I mean. Like, I think that's the one area where they got it right. Like, it's okay that people don't like Caitlin Clark because she may be getting unfair attention.
I
That's
don't think it's right to pin people against people.
yeah. But that's what sells the game. You know,
But it's not
it's not
it's not selling their game. What it's doing for them is creating this division, and then every time somebody fouls Caitlin Clark, when they keep hearing those stories, it's like, oh, or they're jealous of Caitlin Clark. Oh, look how hard they fouled her. And because they don't really talk about anybody else, if you don't actually watch the games, you would think she was the only one that got fouled hard.
right.
They foul each other hard as hell, no matter who's playing. Like
No,
it's not just specific to her, but they put that story out, so you only think that she's the
right.
poor white girl who's just getting beat up by all the gay black chicks who don't like her
You're
because she's
correct.
straight.
I think they
Like,
need more stories. Like I think they need more stories like the Caitlin Clark hype because it works in Indiana. She's gonna sell when she comes to Atlanta. She sells out. When she goes to
mhm.
another arena, she sells out because right now people just want to focus on that. But there's other stories out there.
There is plenty of them,
Show these
and plenty
other
of
stories
talent
in the
too.
I'm saying show these other stories in the same, like you got a good one with the Caitlin Clark. You're gonna have people that thinks she's overrated. You got people who think she's everything. You got people
Hmm.
who think it's disrespectful the way she's been covered. That's all good for the
Hmm.
game. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to media, there's no good media, bad media. As long as you're getting coverage, it's good. They need to find other stories like that where they can say, where they can have polarizing figures, where they can say, do you like this or do you don't like this? Where this girl is involved in this, so people can say, I want to see that girl. Right
They do
now
have
is
the
an
stories of it.
opportunity for. I mean, I hate to say it, but it is what it is. The WNBA got to hit off Raquel Jackson right now. You got to sell the drama.
Well, I mean,
It's a
when
good
it comes to
opportunity
something
to
like that, they're
put.
gonna that you got to be careful when you talk about the domestic violence. You know
I
what I mean?
know, but
Like,
see, that's what I'm
like
talking about. It's
yeah, you got to
controversy,
be careful with that. And even with the guys, they don't necessarily
right?
talk about it, in the
Oh, they
same
talk
kind of
about
light
it.
either. You know what I mean?
They,
They
they
don't talk
talked
about
about Deshaun Watson at length, and then
well,
when
yeah, I mean with the
it
massage
came
thing,
time to
but
play, people want to
with
see,
Rasheed Rice, for
can he
example,
play?
they haven't really spoken about him. But Tyreek Hill's another one who has some allegations. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean
They didn't
those
really,
are
they didn't go in
allegations,
depth
though.
to that.
Yeah,
Well,
those are allegations.
yeah, but
It has to be
still,
solid. It has to be like
Deshaun
Deshaun.
Watson was allegations as well.
Yeah,
You
but
know what I
Hill was
mean?
solid. He was actually going to court getting sued. It was like actually in
But
the
he still
media.
said he was
He had,
innocent, though.
yeah, but
You
he
know what I
had
mean?
charges
And he
though.
wasn't
Like
proven guilty.
Tyreek, I'm
He paid
saying,
a settlement.
yeah, but I'm saying he had a lawyer and he had lawyers going to get, like, it was real, like it was tangible. Like Tyreek stuff is not tangible right now. He's not in court. He doesn't have lawyers, and he finally went to league. No, it wasn't the same. He's not getting suspended.
No,
You
fighting
know,
with his ex-wife. Yeah.
right. But that's all
Stephon
allegations.
Diggs. He's in court right now.
Right.
What happened with this chef or whatever have you. No one's really talking about
And
that.
people been watching Stephon Diggs. People like, okay, we want to see what's gonna happen. He got Cardi
But
B.
they're not talking about it
Like
though.
the whole thing, well, because Cardi B kind of overshadowed all that. She did Stephon Diggs a solid. She took all the attention off the shelf by her being around because she's a bigger star than that story. So they went with the Cardi B and Stephon Diggs story as opposed to the Stephon Diggs and the Chef story. They only can do one big story at a time. And Cardi B kind of helped them out by they're gonna focus on me and you instead of focusing on what happened with the Chef. So and you have situations like that, but the NFL is a storyline monster anyway. They got 1,000 storylines they can hit you with. Whether they can,
But what I'm saying is
they can talk
WNBA
about the Dallas
also,
Cowboys, and that can be the only storyline that week, and that's gonna sell the game.
But the WNBA does have other stories. They just choose not to talk about
exactly.
it. And
That's
that's
what
the
I'm saying.
difference.
They have to talk about them.
They're making the choice to only talk about Caitlin Clark. In this past season, if you weren't really a fan of the game and weren't really watching, she spent pretty much the whole season hurt. You know what I mean? So without her playing, they just stopped talking about them at all. And when they did talk about them, it's like, oh, Asia Wilson, she had a historic night. Shout to Asia. Okay, and back to Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like, so
and that's my point.
The stories are there, like you just have to make the choice to
they
talk
have
about
to talk about these stories and these women. I don't know how open the WNBA and the women of the WNBA are to them talking about some of these stories, some of the more controversial stories because like I said, when it comes to women, it's different than men. When it comes to women, there's a little bit more sensitivity around some of these topics because women go through things that are different than what men go through. And are they willing to open up and have these stories talked about in a controversial manner? It might not be something that you like to hear. It might not be something that you agree with, but if, for example, we talk about a Rakia Jackson and you put that out there, and then you're going to have some people who are going to say, well, she's this type of woman and she deserves whatever she got. Well, that's a lot of people going to disagree with that, but you're going to have some people that are going to agree with that, and it's going to be a thing that's talked about. And now we got to see if she can ball. And at the end of the day,
she reminds me of a young female KD. If you watch her play, to me.
Right. I know she can ball. Yeah. I know she can ball. I don't watch the ball, but the casual fan follows storylines. And that's what sports is all about. It's about storylines. They want to.
ESPN is not going to say nothing like that.
It's people who never seen Caitlin Clark play before, but they done heard of Caitlin Clark so much that if they scroll, I know women that had never watched basketball before, but they telling me I had to watch Caitlin Clark because I wanted to see if she was any good, and I like watching her play. Now I'm watching WNBA basketball games. Like she turned some people into fans who had never watched basketball before. And I think it can be other women.
You can tell a lot of her fans haven't watched it based on the comments that they put. I'm like, clearly you don't watch basketball.
Correct.
Let them tell it. They I'm Caitlin Clark. She should just retire because of her treatment. They're treating her so awful. The ladies are all jealous of her. She should just go away and just start her own league. And I'm like, y'all don't watch basketball.
Right.
Like, they just be saying whatever. I'm like, she gonna start her own league with who? Who's going over there? She play by herself?
Exactly.
But like, she should go overseas. I'm like, she can't handle the physicality over here.
Yeah.
I told her to go overseas.
But hopefully, the WNBA and the NBA, Adam Silver, he can get everything in order for, and both leagues can start to thrive, because honestly, the NBA is almost getting to a point where it's unbearable to watch. It's never been this bad to me. You watch games. I haven't seen a game all year where all the stars were playing. It's one guy. The other team got 3 guys hurt. This team got 2 of their best guys hurt. Sometimes you're seeing it's like a G League game, and so the NBA has to do a better job. And the WNBA has to also, they got to, these commissioners got to do a better job of marketing these leagues and making sure that you put a great product on the floor. So I'm encouraged by what I saw All-Star Sunday, and hopefully Adam Silver going forward can continue along with the owners. The owners will play a big part of this, but to make sure that the fans are getting what they want to see on the floor. We want to see the best players play all the time, and we want to see
Well, I
a
mean,
great
I'm not
product.
gonna get it all the time, but I think more times than not, I get what you're saying.
Right.
They're definitely gonna low manage them somewhere in between. You know what I mean? But we're gonna see. Like I said, I agree. I liked All Star Weekend. You know what I mean? The the Rising Stars Challenge was a little bit, you know what I mean? But it's cool, for Ron Harper and his sons to get out there and do something. It was cool, to see Jalen Brunson out there with his dad and Carl Anthony Towns, for them, to have that kind of moment, you know. But I like the All Star game. I like the format, and hopefully, everybody's healthy, to at least participate, fully. We're gonna see though. All right, I saw this and I was like, y'all got to be playing me. So CP3 just said, okay, it's not gonna happen. So
Right.
he went on ahead and just announced that he retired, which was obviously, I get that looked like it wasn't gonna happen. So I get why he just announced it. But what I found so disrespectful was the Clippers releasing that tribute to CP3. I'm like, the way y'all did him, just don't do a tribute. Like, come on, like the way you just got rid of him like that. Just be quiet. Like, just get rid of him. You didn't like him. You didn't want him there. That's your choice. But don't play in my face and give him no tribute. Like, oh, we're so thankful. We wish you the best. Yada yada. That was so fake and BS to me. Even his wife was like, "Girl, bye." Like when they did that video. What did you think though about a CP3 retirement and about that Clippers tribute?
Well, CP3 had a solid career. I had no problem with the tribute because he played with the Clippers a lot of years before. I mean, he went to a few teams in between, but I mean, he was a Clipper. He had some great years with the Clippers. Every journey comes to an end. Sometimes you don't get to retire the way that you want to retire. I think inside that Clipper organization, they lied to it. It's a lot of liars. People not telling the truth. Because if you go to a man, you heard the report said one thing. And then you go to the people and they say, oh, Lawrence Franks, CP3 was a great guy and we loved him here. And they'll talk to T. Lue. Oh, he was just in the office the other week and we had a great conversation. We love CP3. And yes, Kawhi. Well, Kawhi, he was my guy. And woo. Well, everybody's got something nice to say, but there's a reason this man got cut on the road trip the way that he did. Something happened.
Yeah.
Somebody's not telling the truth.
Or some things happened. Yeah.
Right. Some things happen. Now, the reports is telling us some of these things that happen, and I'm more likely to believe the reports because the reporters have no reason to lie. But a lot of times I say, let me hear it out the guy's mouth. Let me hear it from Lawrence Frank. Let me hear from T. Lue. Let me hear from Van Gundy. Let me hear from Kawhi. Okay, all of y'all are saying glowingly things about him. Y'all talking so great about him. How much of a great guy he was. How much he just wanted to win. How much of a leader he is. Well, some y'all got rid of him for some reason. One of y'all lying, or two of y'all are lying, and I need to know where to lie is. Which one of y'all?
And midnight lying? On a road trip,
right? The way y'all got rid of him, I need to hear the real story. What happened?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Was he? Did he get out of pocket with somebody in the locker room? Was he just too strict on the young guys? Was he trying to change plays? These are some of the things I was hearing that were being reported. But when it comes to the actual guys who are making these decisions, oh, he's such a great guy and a leader, and we just loved him around here. Really? So, out of those four guys that I named, somebody lying. Did he touch somebody inappropriately in the locker room? I need to know what happened because there's no reason that if he's just want to win and he's such a great leader and he's so good with the young guys and all, well, that's a guy you keep on the roster. You don't let guys like that go. maybe I couldn't find no playing time for him. He really wanted more playing time than he was getting. I couldn't find the time. I need to have some answers. And we don't have these answers. And so until we get these answers, somebody's inside that Clipper organization is not telling the truth.
For me, like you said, we know that he did have a history. Obviously, he played for them before, then left, and obviously he came back and he wanted to, retire there. I don't know what happened, but I will say from what I've seen with CP3 when he does mentor, the younger players who want to actually listen to what he has to say, you do see growth. You know what I mean? I see SGA. The time that he spent with with CP3. He'll even tell you, how he impacted his career. On and more importantly, off, of the court. I saw him and Stephon Castle. They spent a lot of time in the off season together. Stephon Castle has gone up a few notches if you watch him play this season as well. So if you're someone and you're on the younger side, I think you can benefit from having someone like CP3 on your roster. Now, someone who's older, set in their ways, they might have a locker room lawyer. What I read online, don't know how true that is or it isn't. They kind of want. They're like, dude, we got this. We don't want to hear, what you got to say. I don't need to tell me what time to get up and how I should be managing my time and my finances or whatever it is. But for the younger ones, I think he was someone that you could have in your locker room. But for me, I don't know what happened. Obviously, it didn't end well. The way you let him go at 12 a.m. on a road trip, he flew in and tell him that he was waived. So obviously something happened. But don't give me this whack ass tribute and pretend, you know what I mean, like me and you ended on good terms. That's why his wife said what she said, because she knows more than we actually do. And she's like, yeah, get out of here with that crap. I feel bad for him, you know what I mean? Not because he didn't have a great career, because he definitely did, but the way it ended, you know what I mean? Like, you want to end on your own terms, and he wanted to have his last season of traveling, saying bye to the fans, accepting the fact, that this is over, it's my last thing. And to me, it kind of felt like he didn't get a chance to end it on his own terms. He kind of was robbed in a sense. And for that part, I feel bad that he didn't get a chance to end his journey the way that he would have liked. Because to me, the what he did, and what he contributed to this league, his size, his talent, to me, I'm just like, you got to put him up there, when you think of point guards, So I don't.
Yeah.
I was hoping somebody would pick him up and like give him like a vet minimum or something, you know what I mean? Like, and let him finish out.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just find out the hard way what the league really thinks about you. And he found out the hard way. He thought that he was on the level of the guys who the league actually respects on the highest of orders, like the D Wades, like the LeBrons, Dirk Nowitzki, those kind of guys. And the league showed him like, nah, we don't respect you that way. Like, you were great. We appreciate everything you did for the game, but nah, you can go on and we cool. So I think, for CP3, I think he really believed he was one of those guys. He found out the way Carmelo Anthony found out, like, oh, I'm not one of those guys. Now you on that next tier. Like, you're not the Kobe Bryant. Like, no, like, these guys gonna get treated a little bit different on their way out. You on that next tier of guys that we appreciate what you did, but adios. And we moving on to the next one. And then it's unfortunate that you thought you was on that level, and we're gonna get the kind of respect that they garner, but you don't. And so, unfortunately, CP3 had to find that out the hard way. But he had a great career. I mean, he is one of the best point guards to ever play, and he's the first ballot Hall of Famer. And I look forward to seeing what he does in the next stage of his career, whether it's be TV, whether he gets a podcast, or whether he coaches. I think he'll be an excellent coach. So we'll see. I wish CP3 the best. I always liked the CP3.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ever since his high school, the first time I seen Chris Paul, he was playing in the high school game, and his grandfather had passed away, and his grandfather died at the age of 61. And CP3 played in the high school game, and he wanted to score 61 points because that was how his granddad was. And he got to the free throw line. He had 60 points, and he hit the first. and
continue
he got
listening.
okay. He got to the free throw line and he hit the first free throw that gave him 61 points, and he missed the second one on purpose so that he can end the game with 61 points. And I was like, you know what? I like that guy, and I'm gonna root for that guy for the rest of his career. And I've been a supporter of CP3 since he was in high school. So yeah, I like CP3. I like the stuff he's made of, and I look forward to seeing what's next in the chapter of Chris Paul.
All right. For me, I wonder if he had won a championship, like if he had a ring, you know what I mean? Him or Carmelo, both of them, would that have been different in terms of like how, like the treatment that they got on the way out? Because they didn't win. So I wonder, people
Right.
that you mentioned, they have rings. Even if they just have one, they still have a ring. I wonder if
Mhm.
that would have given them a little bit more respect, in terms of what they brought to the league and their contribution, to it. But
Right.
like you said, I do agree. I do wish him the best. It was just, yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'll move on. KD, woo, y'all, KD. There's some things that came out. My son showed me. I'm like, stop believing everything that you see online, okay? Like, don't believe everything. But like I said, I know KD's had some burner accounts in the past and things have come out. So maybe, just maybe, this might be. I'm gonna see if I can find the video real quick. I just wonder, how they looking at him in the locker room now. Like if you Alfred Sangoon, are you giving him a little bit of the side eye when he come in there now?
Yeah.
Like, I
Well,
wonder.
it was reported that some people in Houston on the Houston staff had a conversation with KD about his burner accounts and about his tweeting and how it was being taken negatively in the locker room, and it didn't sit well with KD. He didn't really like what they was telling him, but they were asking him, that, "Hey man, you need to cut that out." So KD, he loves Twitter. He got two accounts. He got his real account, then he got a burner account that he tried to hide behind. And it's so funny that he's had burner accounts for a lot of years, and somehow the mask always comes off. Like, keep the mask on. How do they keep finding out that this is your burner account? It's supposed to be in disguise. I don't know. Maybe Katie is getting caught on purpose. That's what it's starting to make me believe.
No, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. All right.
Into KD's shady drone investments. A guy tells Durant, "Hey, I hope you tear your Achilles again tonight." So toxic. But then the allegations. User Ryan posted group chat photos with KD's burner, which he uses to trash teammates and make crazy comments. On current Rockets teammate Alperen Şengün, he says, "Coach called that play to pass to Alpi. Well, I'm gonna turn the ball over with this team. I don't give a F. Your franchise player can't shoot or defend. That is a way bigger issue than my turnovers. And remember, these guys are your future." Wow. KD's supposed to be a leader to these young players, and this is how he talks about them. But there's more. "I can't trust Jabari Smith Jr. to make an effing shot or get a stop. Just don't give him a technical free throw, to be honest. He is low-key retarded." Okay, that sounds impossible for him to actually say. There is no way he would say that about a teammate without being a bad person and teammate himself. It could kill the Rockets. And oh, by the way, apparently he doesn't even believe in his current team. Hornets got better young players than the Rockets. Me on the Hornets is better than me on the Rockets. He's also sick of fan favorite Steven Adams and thinks teammate Clint Capella should just retire. Like, forget the playoffs, okay? If your best player does not believe in your squad at all, you're not winning a thing. This is such a big deal. Proof is needed, and we will get to that. But after the initial leak, the floodgates opened. Other people started posting screenshots And the comments go back to his days in OKC. On the Suns, he said it's Booker's team when they win and his team when they lose. And he misses two teammates. First, Ben Simmons, because at least he would pass him the ball. And also James Harden, because he's a good dude. I mean, a bit delusional, but I understand him. And yeah, that sounds pretty accurate about James Harden. But on the Warriors, Durant allegedly says that he started holding Steph accountable in film sessions, and people would look at him all crazy. Which people? Well, apparently Steve Kerr. Because since Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the face in the 90s, he doesn't even mess with dark skins. And apparently that's why he loves Steph, but gives Draymond and Kevin Durant a hard time. Kind of hilarious. So is his nickname for Russell Westbrook, allegedly. In a discussion about stats, the burner says that Kyrie was not competing with him, but that light skin, maybe Steph, and the triple-double cocaine bear was. Wow. So this is all wild. And by the way, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more. But we have to see the proof, right? This could affect how people.
All right. A bit delusional, but I understand him. Oh my goodness. Oh man. What do you think? Do you think that this could be KD?
I mean, it could be KD. I mean, KD is, to me, he's the greatest role player to ever play. You know, I put him right there above Scottie Pippen as the greatest role player to ever play. He's not a leader. He's never led a team anywhere. You know, and a lot of people, they hate to accept that fact. This is why I don't have KD in like my top 10, you know, maybe top 15. But I mean, I probably have him somewhere in my top 20, top 25, because I can't put him above guys that led teams, you know, and put up numbers. Definitely when I have to nitpick. He's never been a leader. That OKC team that got to the finals with KD, that was Russ' team. KD wasn't the leader of that team. Russell Westbrook was the leader of that team. When he went to Golden State, you know, that's Steph's team. You know, Steph is the leader of that team, him and Draymond. When he went to Brooklyn, he was supposed to go to the Knicks, but Kyrie was like, I'm going to Brooklyn. I want you to come over here and play with me. That was Kyrie's team, you know.
So do you think that, what do you think
Booker
about
is Phoenix team. Houston is not KD's team. You know, that's Sengun and all them other guys. That's their team. Like he's a role player. And that's fine, because KD has said many times in press conferences, I don't want to be the leader of the team. I don't want to be that guy who you putting all the attention on. I want to play a role. I'm a role player. He's telling people this, but people see his talent and they say, man, you got to be more than a role player. He doesn't want to be more than a role player, and it's okay. He's a great role player. He's a great guy that if you already got other guys there and you put KD into that mix, you got you something. He's a great role player. He's not a leader. He's not a guy that's going to lift other players and take other players to places they never thought they could go before. He's not that guy, and it's okay for him to be a role player. But when people expect him to be a leader and people expect him to provide more than he's willing to provide, then that's their problem, because KD never told you he wanted to be that. He wants to be a role player. So I accept him as a role player. And this is some things in what I just saw out of the burner file. These are some things just another guy on the team would do, but not a leader.
Well, I'm glad you brought it back to the burner files. I don't know if it's him, obviously. And I haven't, up till now, I haven't seen if he addressed it or he said anything like that's not me or that's not my account or whatever. People are going to believe it. They might not believe it at this point, you know, because he's got exposed in the past. So he could try to come out and defend it and say it's not him, but somebody's going to believe that it is him. My thing is just now going forward, right? Because it's already out there. And because he has that history of, you know, of saying things, you know, under fake accounts or whatever have you, you know, are the young players looking at him sideways now? Do you have Alfred Sengun give him the side eye, or Reed Shepherd, you know, and things of that nature? And going forward, I wonder, I mean, Ime runs a pretty tight ship, you know what I mean? But I just wonder if it'll, you know, if it'll shift, you know, a little bit of dynamic of how they look at him, and how they move forward in the second half of the season. That's what I'm really interested to see if it has anything shifts a little bit, in terms of how they play and what happens. You know what I mean? Do they stop passing the ball? You know what I mean? They pass
No,
the ball to Sangoon. Like I'm curious to see. You know what I mean? I'm curious to
no,
see how it's gonna play out.
they
Because they
trying
weren't
to
they, were,
win.
they weren't passing the ball before. They were just passing it to Sangoon. So I'm curious to see like if they kind of go back to that more so now than
Man,
KD.
these folks trying to win basketball games. Well, the one of the best ways to win is the guy that's averaging 26, 27 a game. You keep letting him get the ball because that means his talent is what it is. He's one of the greatest. He's
Hmm.
one of the most talented players ever to play.
That's
But
true.
just because you have talent, ultimate talent, doesn't mean that you are a leader.
That's
Like
true
you
too.
look at a guy like Anthony Davis. He got all the talent in the world. He's probably the most talented player on every team that he's been on. But he's not the leader. He's the second guy. He's a role player, and that's fine. But his talent is what it is. So if Houston wants to win, they keep feeding Kevin Durant the ball, especially down the stretch in crunch time.
And we gonna see. Because what's up, Nasir? I thought you were weren't here tonight. Nice to see you.
Shouts
Um, he
out.
said he said he led the USA basketball team in the Olympics years back.
Again, he was on a Olympic team with a whole bunch of great players.
Hmm.
Sometimes as a role player, when you have great talent and you have a lot of great players around you,
Hmm.
you might score the most points. That don't mean you led the team. Just like at Golden State, like yeah, you were wide ass open, and
Hmm.
you got all the talent in the world. So yes, you scored the most points, but you're not better than Steph. It's not true, and Steph won before you, and Steph won after you, because
Hmm.
Steph don't need you. You just made it easier for Steph to get some extra rings,
Hmm.
and that's just how it goes. You look at those Olympic teams. Carmelo Anthony was the best player on a couple of those Olympic teams. He wasn't the leader, but when you got great players around them and the opportunities where you wide open or you playing one-on-one basketball, then a guy of Carmelo Anthony's talent, a guy of Kevin Durant's talent, they're gonna shine in those moments. So,
Hmm.
to say because a guy scored the most points that he led the team, that's not how, that's misleading.
So for me, I feel like it's like two different conversations, in terms of KD with the burning files, in terms of KD and his leadership or lack thereof. You know, um, I think people, like you said, they kind of expect like when your best player or your leading scorer, on your team, that automatically makes them a good leader. And there's different ways of leading too. Some people are more vocal leaders. You know what I mean? They're gonna tell you how they feel. They're gonna be like, yo, do this, do that. And you have some who lead by example in
Right.
terms of their play. So it depends. Like I said, he's always said, I'm not. I just want to hoop. He want to play ball.
Right. They
That's
just
what
want to
he care
hoop.
about. He don't want all the extra stuff. He don't care about being the face of nothing and things of that nature. He want his money, of course. He want to compete. When he want to hoop, that's that. He don't even care about putting lotion on. So
Right.
like like KD, just be KD. I am curious though, like to see, because I mean, these are still human beings, whether they have a lot of money or they don't, they're still human beings. So I wonder, will there be a little bit of, something that we may see? I'm not gonna say for the whole rest of the season, but maybe like just the next couple of games based
Mm-hmm.
on what came out. I'm curious to see though, because they're still human beings. I always say that they're always human beings
Right.
first. They may make a lot of money, but people, when they feel some kind of way, sometimes you can tell. Like
Oh yeah.
people sitting on one side of the bench, you on the opposite side of the bench. They're not really talking to you. They're kind of looking past you when you talk to them. You can kind of see it's a little bit of something there. You know what I mean? So I'm just curious to see. And I'm wondering if he's going to speak on it. Actually, I'm curious to see if he's going to say something about
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like I said, this is one of those stories. It's another story that the NBA has.
it.
And now it makes you want to see if the Houston Rockets are gonna treat KD a certain kind of way. So now you gotta tune in.
I mean,
You
I was
know,
watching before that.
I mean, I know
So
you were watching
yeah,
before, but I'm saying like they're gonna have some extra
mhm,
attention paid to them because
yeah.
people want to see this drama. You know what I'm saying? Is KD teammates gonna feel a certain kind of way? How they gonna approach this situation? So I also look forward to it. But if Houston Rockets want to win, you got to get the ball to one of your best players, and KD is still one of their best players on the team. I don't think the Houston Rockets are true contenders because I think them losing Fred VanVleet in the offseason to the ACL injury was huge. But I think they're still going to be a good team, and in the playoffs, somebody's got to go beat them 4 times. They're not going to beat themselves. So I look forward to the rest of the season. This playoff run. Those teams. From 10, well, and even 11 up to who's going to make that play in and who's going to make that push to get in the playoffs. A lot of people don't give Adam Silver credit for that, but he's responsible for the play in. If you want to put it on the commissioner, he's responsible for that. And I think the play in is good for basketball because it caused those lower teams to compete a little bit more because even they're not out of it. They can get into a 10th spot. And they can get hot at the right time. They can get healthy at the right time, and they can make a playoff run. So
I think Charlotte might be in that play-in situation.
Charlotte is playing really well as of recent.
I think so.
Over the past month, Charlotte has been playing really good. People got to watch out for Charlotte. I would have named them my dark horse earlier. I would have named them my dark horse earlier, but I just don't see. I see them being in the playoffs, but I don't see them making a real push for the Eastern Conference Finals, even though the East is wide open.
Nasir, so I have to go to your channel notifications. Are you signed up for my notifications? Like when I go on, like are you signed up so like you'll get notification? I think you have to do that.
He got to hit that bell. There's a little bell. If you hit that
is
bell,
USA
then
going
it
to
will
win gold
ring for you. No, go
is
ahead.
USA going to win gold in the World Cup in Berlin? Germany, do y'all like the roster? I haven't really the wrong person to ask that question to. How you feel about it?
I don't even know if the roster has been announced yet. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'll pay attention to any top level basketball. I'm gonna watch, but I do understand that the world is really good, and sometimes on these world championship teams, they don't. It's not the same as the Olympic team. They're not gonna LeBron and those guys. They're not gonna stealth. They're not gonna put the best players on there. They're gonna put really good players on there, and those really good players are trying to hopefully earn a spot to the next Olympics that's going to happen in 2028. So I think it is a time for you to start acclimating some of these young guys, because I don't know if KD, LeBron, and Steph and some of those guys, I don't think they're going to be around for 2028. So it's time to start getting, your next wave of NBA players who are going to be there for the Olympics. Go ahead and get them acclimated to world play, because it's a little bit different than playing NBA basketball. So I do look forward to watching the and maybe he's talking about he may not be talking about the world championships. Maybe he's talking about the World Cup, it's meaning football. And when it comes to that, that's the greatest sport on the planet.
He's talking about the ladies. Okay. He's talking about the women. Women.
Is he talking football or he's talking
about
basketball?
Women. I believe it's talking about basketball and women.
Well, the United States basketball women are dominant. The world hasn't caught up when it comes to women's basketball. So, they run away with that. I mean, they haven't been beat in decades.
I know Caitlin's about the FIBA World Cup, because I know Caitlin's doing it. Angel Reese is there this year as well. So I don't know everybody, but I know those two are doing it.
Yeah, but I think he's talking. He has to be talking World Cup. He's talking soccer, and yes, soccer is going to be off the chain. The World Cup is going to be off the chains. That's going to be something. As me, I'm more of a casual football fan. Football, I call it football because it's what the world calls it. United States calls it soccer. I think that's one of the reasons why the United States is still behind when it comes to it. We don't even call the game by its proper name. It's football. And till we can respect the game for what it is, we'll always be behind. But I do, when it comes to World Cup, I do get excited about football. It's very exciting. The crowd, the fans are so energetic and electric, and they got the chants and they be jumping. I mean, I live in Atlanta, and one of the best sporting events to go to is the Atlanta United. I mean, it's nothing like going to like a Falcons game has nothing on the Atlanta United. A Hawks game have nothing on Atlanta United. I mean, those fans are partying before the game, during the game, after the game. I mean, that's a whole nother atmosphere, that football atmosphere. So when it comes to the World Cup, oh yes, I definitely look forward to the World Cup because man, the passion that the fans have and the passion that those players play with is unmatched by just about every other sporting event that happens in the world.
I'm gonna go to this last topic, y'all. I'm gonna keep this one kind of quick. Yeah, so you excited Super Bowl's going to the ATL? Will I find this last clip?
I mean, I'm always excited when Atlanta has an opportunity, for economic advancement. I get my hustle on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like the idea of the Super Bowl coming to Atlanta. That's always a positive thing. Hopefully we
Continue. I'm
don't.
listening.
Hopefully they do us right this time and don't give us Maroon 5 as the halftime show. Like they did us wrong. Let Outkast do a halftime show. And have a little bit of Killer Mike and maybe some Luda, maybe some Ti. Maybe some of the greats. I mean, we got a lot of great artists in Atlanta who can put on a great halftime show and tell a great story as well when it comes to the history of Atlanta being the Black Mecca. Like, come on, man. Like, let's do it for real.
I'm looking for something, but I hear you.
So yeah, we good with Atlanta being the host of the Super Bowl. I mean, it's a great time. You just gotta stay out of trouble. We had the Ray Lewis situation down here one year. Just don't stay out nobody. Just stay out of trouble. Magic City right there. Have your little fun, and let's get to playing some football. But Atlanta is always a great place to host a big event like a Super Bowl or something like that. So yeah, I'm very excited. I'll be attending Monday Night Raw next week. It's coming to Atlanta. It's gonna be a great time. Anytime WWE comes to Atlanta, I enjoy being at the event. And man, it's just electric. It's just a whole nother. WWE is another thing that is just it's just a great event to attend. And so I look forward to having my sign and being at WWE next Monday for Monday Night Raw as we on the road to WrestleMania. Always good times.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play this last one. Share my screen. Cut this off. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
you
I
hear
can
me?
hear
You
you.
hear me good? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna play this clip real quick.
I love it. What? They are so funny. And I was like, and then that.
My bad, y'all. All right, here we go.
And there ain't nothing pure about that damn show, girl. So thank you for that.
Even more so that y'all met in a strip club, and that's like one of my favorite leisure activities.
Oh, I love
our favorite leisure too, girl.
I'm like, yes. I don't understand why people don't like the strip club. It is a good time.
We love it.
Love
we be having a time.
Love it. So I know where our first field trip is. That is so cute. We actually should. What is
that
the
would be
city?
fun.
Atlanta.
You gotta be in Atlanta.
They gotta be Atlanta.
Or Houston, Area 29.
Ooh, Area
29. This Area 29.
No, y'all.
Area 29 be lit. And that's
What
our
about
homeboy Eric
Pink
that
House? Something. What's that?
What?
The Pink House or something I just heard about.
I don't know.
Oh, that
That's
must
Area
be
29.
new.
We don't rep nothing but Area 29 over here, girl.
Shout out to DJ Eric.
Yeah, shout out to Eric. But I will say, she was saying that, like, you don't really like Houston, or you just kind of like, Houston not my thing.
He ain't feeling it.
But I'm telling you, if we let's take a family trip to Houston. We gonna have fun.
Family trip to Houston. We will have a good time. Okay. We will make sure
we gotta do it.
Family trip to Houston.
Taking a family trip to Houston.
Guys, and we're staying at the Post Oak.
No,
we are.
We're gonna have a ball. When I tell you, when we go to Area 29.
All right, y'all. So, Savannah James, obviously LeBron James' wife, talking about her, she enjoys the strip club, you know what I mean? And this kind of rubs some people the wrong way because they're like, your husband is a billionaire. You have this seemingly amazing, depiction of what it means to have a wonderful Black family. You know what I mean? You got the husband, the wife, the kids, we don't hear anything bad about them. But it's like, why are you on this podcast talking about your love of strip clubs? And it's like, you're doing too much. Like, we don't need to know that about you. You should just be LeBron James' wife and, play in the background and look pretty. So I want to ask the guys, I'm sorry about you, obviously, because you're here on the podcast with me. Do you have an issue with Savannah James talking about her love of strip clubs? As being LeBron James' wife, do you feel like she should have kind of kept that to herself? Like, does it ruin the brand?
None whatsoever. LeBron clearly has allowed her to do this, and if he's cool with it, then I'm cool with it. Look, only thing I ever have a problem with famous people, like their girls get on when they start bashing them, when they start making the guys look less than. She didn't make LeBron look less than because she likes to go to the strip club. I'm pretty sure LeBron had some private strip parties at his house or a private location where she was in attendance and she enjoyed it. Like, they probably enjoy it together. So I have no problem with that. As long as she's not demeaning her man in any kind of way, talking down on him and things of that nature, or making him look small, then no, I have no problem where, she enjoys going to a strip club and, having a good time, having some drinks. A lot of times the strip clubs, they have great food at the strip clubs.
I've heard.
It's a great place to go and eat, and, it's going to be some, naked women around, and women are different than men, where women can appreciate another woman's body. Like a man, we're not gonna go to
men can't.
No, we can't do that. We that's not something that we're interested in. We're only interested in women's bodies. That's it. We're not gonna go to a male strip club and be like, oh yeah, he's chiseled and he's cut and look at him. We're not gonna do that.
Chiseled.
But
not
women,
chiseled.
right? But women can do that, and women like doing that. They like to go. A woman can say, "Oh, that girl, she's pretty, she's beautiful. Oh, she has a nice shape," and it means nothing but that girl is pretty and she's beautiful and she has a nice shape. That goes back to that
double standard, though,
right?
Where women can do things, men can, and men can do certain things, women can't.
Correct. So I have no problem. I've been to strip clubs with women before, and it was a great time. So. I have no problem with Savannah James with anything she said, because out of all the things she said, she did not demean her man by any means. So You know, she likes strip clubs, and her homegirls like strip clubs, and they can come to Atlanta. You know, I might pull up, man. If Savannah Jane let me know you coming, I might pull up. You know, we can go to the city. We can go to the Foxy Lady. We can go to
The Foxy Lady.
Right, we can go to Strokers if you want to go to Strokers. We
That's a
can do
very
that.
interesting name for a strip club, not Strokers.
Yeah,
Oh my
Strokers.
goodness.
Yeah, we can go to Strokers. That's right up the street from me. So we can go to
Mhm.
Pin Ups. So you want to pull up the Pin Ups, we can do that. So you know, just let me know when you're coming through. You know, I've never
I
been to
haven't been to
Houston.
one, but if I do, I want to go to Magic City because I heard so much about Magic City and all the rap songs and everything over I don't know how many years now. So if I'm going to any strip club and I'm going to AT, I want to go to Magic City. I heard the wings are the best. Period. I've heard that, and I heard the hands down they got the best strippers.
Well, you know,
That's what I heard. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, man. You see, sometimes you see one stripper, you see them all.
I haven't seen
They.
any.
Oh, okay, yeah. But you know, they have some nice strippers. You know, I had to stop going to the strip club after I stopped drinking. You know, because
You was
there's a
paying on
few.
you was giving them your light bill
No,
money.
no, 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 no. I don't do no tricking. There's another thing. I don't really do no tricking like that. Like I said,
Well, then why are you there? They
if I
trying to get their bills
yeah,
paid.
but they ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I would go, like if I go with some friends, I would pay for my friend to have a dance. Like I would pay the girl, you know, whatever, $10, $20, whatever it was, dance for my homeboy, you know, and she'll dance. My homeboy sitting next to me, so hell, I'm watching the dance too, but it ain't for me. You know, that's for my homeboy. But the 2 drink minimum got me because you gotta get 2 drinks. And I remember one time, man, I was at that was a strip club that's no longer it was called Jazzy Tees. It's closed now, but I had a few drinks and there was this one girl. She was doing. I mean, she was bad. I mean, she was
Mhm.
dancing, and I was like, man, you know. But I don't
Mhm.
want to go trick off on her, throw her no ones and then like that. So I just went up to her and I just said, like, look, let me just pay you to just go home with me. Like, let's just not even play these games. Like, I
Oh my goodness.
but I was on the alcohol. That's what the
What
alcohol
did you say?
the alcohol had her looking. She was like, after I get off, you know, let's talk when I, you know, get off. But then
Mhm.
the number she was talking about was different from the number I was talking about. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I
Oh
didn't
well,
want to pay.
clearly, yeah.
I didn't want to pay what she wanted me. What she wanted, you know what I'm saying? I like, can we do half that? You know what I'm saying?
No,
We do
she
half
ain't gonna
that.
hope for no discounted price. What's
Right, right.
happening? What are you
It
trying to
wasn't a
do?
discount for me. I thought what I had offered was a generous price, but clearly it wasn't a generous price for her. She was used to getting more than that. So, you know, it
Well,
didn't happen, but you know, still, you know,
I
I shot
think
my shot.
Lil Wayne said it best. Then bands will make her dance. He said, "I don't tip, I pay bills." So
Right.
if
Yeah, I
you're
wasn't
not
gonna pay no.
paying bills,
I was only gonna pay a
like,
phone bill. I wasn't gonna pay the
she
electric
not
bill.
trying to go home,
Right,
you know,
right,
for a couple ones. You know what I
right. No,
mean?
I
Like
mean
she's
it
trying to
would
get a car note, house note,
right. See, I
maybe
wasn't
the
gonna do
hair and
that.
nails included.
No, that was too big a tricking for me. Like I said, I don't really like. I ain't really no trick like that. Not now.
Well, clearly,
I
'cause you
like
didn't know how to
look.
do it.
I don't not tricking now. Don't get me wrong, because as men get older, you
They ain't
know,
tricking if you got it.
especially married men, you know, it's better to trick. You know, because you don't want to have no attachments. You want to just pay,
Mhm.
you know, for a service, get it done, and ain't no conversation. You get rid of her, and that's it. So I can understand the tricking as you get older, but I haven't necessarily got to that point where I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead and just spend, you know, $60, $80, whatever, and just have this performance and then let that be that. But I get it though. I got a lot of friends who trick.
Hold on. Nasir, you said you definitely do. I didn't recognize her while watching the video. That's supposed to be a good thing. You definitely do what have a problem with what she said, or are you saying you don't have a problem? You definitely don't have a problem. DJ Magic City was started by a guy from Jersey. Oh, I didn't know that. I have never been to a strip club, you guys. I'm pretty much a swear. In my 20s, at NYC, strip clubs was the last option if I couldn't get. If you couldn't get the digits, couldn't get the numbers after hitting a few bars or nightclubs. Nasir, I can't see you going to a strip club. You know, the way I envision you, Nasir, you know, my brother, you know, I think you a brother. The vibe I get is somebody who, you know, goes to the mosque, you know, who's like head in the Quran kind of vibe. That's the
Because
vibe
his
I'm getting.
name is Nasir?
Yeah, no, the
No.
way he speaks too. You know what I mean? Not just,
Oh, okay. Oh,
but
yeah,
people
with
speak
the
how they
jewelry
people
and
speak how they
yeah.
think. Yeah, it gets
Right.
very much traditional. Man, this is the man's job, and men should do this, and women should do that. That's the vibe I get from you from reading your messages. Obviously, I haven't met you in person.
Yeah, and I
I'm
don't know.
surprised.
I don't know how the strip clubs is in New York, but
Neither.
or anywhere really. It's just Atlanta. I've heard Atlanta they get butt naked, So I don't know if
Too
they get
much.
naked in other states, but in Atlanta they don't have anything on from the feet to the head. Like it just it's
Wow.
naked, So
I hope that pH balance is on 200.
well, I don't know what it's on, but the girls,
You would, because you would smell.
Yeah, well, yeah, they usually don't. I haven't really been to a strip club and it smelled bad, and the girls, before they
So
get
that
on the
pH
pole,
balance is where it needs to be. Then okay,
right
cool.
before they get on the pole, they wipe the pole down with their rag, and
You
then
gotta
they get up
sanitize
there.
that thing.
Right,
You
right,
gotta
right.
hit that
So
lights on.
they get on there. Sometimes I like it when they get on there with it might be two girls on the pole, and they might be dancing together, and they be doing some stuff like it's an amazing time, for a couple dollars. You got a couple dollars. Now every now and then you might you might be like, I really appreciate that. You go ahead and throw a few ones up there. But I like the when I would go to the strip club, I like to have conversation with the strippers like on the one-on-one, so like we talk, or I pay for my partner to have a dance, but while you here, I'm trying to see where your head at, and it'd been a couple of times.
They're trying to pay their bills. They're not there to
Yeah.
converse, dude.
I mean, no, it's been a couple. Well,
conversation.
these are some real hustling women. It's been a couple of times I've been to the strip club, and I just been sitting off in the back, and the girl come up and she sit down with me and she talk to me, and then we get drinks. I might get her a drink, we just chilling, talking, but I already know the game. I'm like, if I was a square, she'll get me for everything I got. But since I know she up here talking to me, sounding real good, being real nice, telling me all these good things about myself, I already know the game. You know what I'm saying? I just go along with it for entertainment purposes, but at the end of the day, I asked one stripper one time, I said, look, I'm the type of guy that I'm trying to get you to give me all your money at the end of the night. That's just how I roll. And she smiled at me and she said, you know what? I understand. She said, I see where you coming from. You thinking you got the right idea, but I'm trying to get all your money too. So I was like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I feel you, but you see where I'm coming from. Like I'm not that. I'm the type of guy where I want you to drop the check at the end of the night to me. You know what I'm saying? But so she was cool with that.
Why on earth would she do that?
Why would she do that?
Why would she be giving you her money?
Because if she really liked me like that, if she really wanted me like that, then that's what it would take. And then she could continue to work in the strip club and she could be my girl, But you just got to make sure you drop that bag off at the end of the night, you know what I'm saying? And everything going to be taken care of in your life. So, that's how I was at one point in my life. That's the kind of dude I had a lot of girlfriends back when I was younger where that was the requirement to be with me. Like I had to have because that's the only way.
I will work hard to give a guy some money. Ain't no way in hell.
Yeah, well, they would, because that was the only way that I would be comfortable with believing that you really like me. So the only way I believe that you like me is if you give me 100% of you. If you can't give me 100% of you, then
100% of me in terms of commitment, 100% in terms of my wallet, because I
everything.
got bills.
I need your life.
No. No. Yeah, that's how I'll be like.
I need it all.
How about you go talk to somebody?
Right. I mean, it's not gonna be for everybody, but
no, it wasn't for me.
I had a lot of women. I had a lot of women like that, and they were some of the best relationships I had, And
so what happened?
Well, at some point, yes,
They got tired of paying you?
No, not that. It really it would be me, I'm the type of person, especially when I was younger, and maybe to a degree now, like I've always been very picky. If I see something that's a little bit off, if it's a little something that I don't like, it'll, make me pivot and go in a different direction. So, my friends told me back in the day, he told me, he said, hey man, whatever woman end up with you, she gonna have to be special because you got a lot of standards, bro. You too picky. And I tend to be, not as much now as I was when I was younger, but still, like, definitely when it comes to morals, how you treat people, how you talk to people, how you carry yourself, level of cleanliness, things like that. I've always had high standards, of the women that I deal with.
Well, before we get out of here, though, just to ask you guys, and you guys drop your comments in the chat. Those of you who are still with us, appreciate you. We don't really have a lot of I guess positive like Black family role models that you look at nowadays. There's a lot more broken homes, unfortunately, than married couples who've been together for so long. And I think people have this image in their heads, right or wrong, they have this image in their heads of Black excellence when it comes to LeBron and Savannah. So they've been together since high school. They have 3 beautiful kids. You got these kids, who are going to be good kids. You know what I mean? And all these different things. So when people hear, and it seems that men, have an issue with women who get on podcasts or in these do interviews or have their own podcast, and it's like you have a man who's a part of the 1%. You know what I mean? Like, why are you on a podcast anyway? Talking about anything. It doesn't have to be about strip clubs. It don't have to be about. It could be about decorating. It could be about cooking. It's like, why are you even on a podcast? Like just chill, just play your role, just be happy with all the millions that you guys have garnered. Don't do anything to damage, so to speak, the brand. You know what I mean? For me, I don't see why a woman, who wants to have an identity, I guess, outside of her billionaire or multimillionaire husband should be offensive, especially if he supports it. You know what I mean? If he's okay with, her wanting to have a career or a podcast or travel, a traveling channel, vlog, whatever it is, if he's okay with it, the kids are not, in any kind of trouble, then what's the problem? But I see a lot of comments from men like, no, like they always want to have all the shine. It's like, just be happy, be grateful, and be quiet. And I'm like, am I missing something? Like, what's the problem?
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, Savannah has a life, and
yeah, kids are older now. Like, I mean, Zuri's the youngest one, but
her and LeBron, they've been married for what, 20-some years now, maybe. Since
I don't know how long they've been married. They've been together obviously since way back when.
Right, since high school.
Yeah.
Right, so they've been together for over 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Yeah.
LeBron knows that Savannah like to go to the strip club. Like I said, he probably been with her a couple times, or maybe he had some sort of private party where they had some strippers come, and they would like he's okay with that. And sometimes this is how you keep your marriage together. And so I'm perfectly fine with everything that Savannah has done. The lady she has been, she's been great, because at damn time have I ever heard her put down her man or put her man in a bad light. And as long as she's not doing that, then I have to believe that LeBron has okayed everything that she's doing, whether it's a podcast, whether it's going to a strip club, whether it's hanging out with the girls. As long as she haven't put her man in a bad light, I'm all for whatever Savannah James is doing.
Not Diddy party, y'all.
I mean, I've heard rumors.
We hear so many things, right?
Right.
I'm like, release the footage, or I don't want to hear no rumors.
Right.
Release the footage.
I stay away from rumors.
Nasir, we need more of our women to carry themselves like Coretta King, Martin Luther King's wife. Savannah disappointed with her response. She and LeBron supposed to be our royal couple.
I disagree with that. They're not my royal couple.
I think that's part of the issue too. Like we sometimes, like, people, you have celebrities and people are like, well, you're supposed to be a role model, and I think Rihanna said it best years ago. She's like, I'm not trying to raise your kids. Like, I'm not here to be a role model. I'm here to be an entertainer, and, and sing and dance or whatever. But I'm not here to be who your kids look up to. That's for you to do inside your home and raise your kids, the right way. To me, it's a bit of it's a two-sided coin, because whether or not you want to be a role model, you are. a lot of these young
Right.
men, young kids, they look up to you. You know, like you may not like that, but they do. They want to be like. They want to play like you. They want to dance like you. Cut their hair, nails, whatever, like you.
Right.
Like that. That's a part of it. You can't. For me, that's why they always say like, no, wait, was it? Because a lot of responsibility. Great responsibility, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. You know, like it comes with it. You can't have one without the other. But
Right.
I feel like for me, I'm not mad that it's like the strip club. I mean, like I said, if her and LeBron do it together and he's okay with it in their marriage, you know, like then that's their business. They want to swing. They're a swinging couple. And they're okay
Whatever
with
they
it, you
want to
know,
do.
then that's their business. Now I would say if they no, I would say because they are a brand, he's $1 billion brand. Certain things, I'm like, you know, be mindful of what you say in that podcast. If it gets too crazy, you know, then it's gonna be trending all over the place. This one was a little bit, you know, but it wasn't too crazy. If she did say something that was like a little bit maybe too frisky, too risque, you know, then it might change, you know, the dynamic of who we see them, and that could be something, you know, just keep an eye on
Right.
for
At the end of the day,
her.
at the end
You
of the
know, come with
day,
the king. You know, she's Savannah James.
right.
You know,
At the end of the day, are you sticking with your man to death do you part? Are you gonna keep those vows? That's what I care about when it comes to marriage. Different marriages are different because the two people that involved are different. You know, like I said, if he cool with her going to strip clubs, then that's fine. As long as at the end of the day, her loyalty is to that man and and his loyalty is to her, and they keep those vows from when they say in sickness and health, rich or poor, to death do us part. Honor that, and if they gonna honor that, then I have no problem with anything that they're doing in their marriage. It's not my business. It really doesn't matter to me. You know, that's their marriage.
remember what LeBron said? Ain't nothing like a Diddy party. Was that what he said?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Just because you went
It's
to a
not a
Diddy
rumor.
party,
LeBron said he went to a Diddy party.
right? Just because a person went to a Diddy party don't mean they
Don't mean
got
that you the
lubed
baby
up.
oil.
Right. That's the whole thing to me. Even when it
You
comes to
know.
like the Epstein files, you got a lot of people in the Epstein file. Just because somebody knew Epstein or hung out with Epstein, don't mean they were messing with little children.
Yeah, leave Russ out the foolishness.
I mean, a lot of people. It's a lot of people who are involved in the
Y'all don't put Russ in
foolishness.
the foolishness.
Right, just because okay, I knew a person knew Epstein, or he helped them out, or you know, like he was a rich person. He had a lot of people around him, you know, but that don't mean that everybody he had around him was touching little girls. Now, some of them did, but until you know who actually did what, then it's unfair to just because somebody's associated with them that they automatically said they've done these things. I've had people around me who've done some foul things, but I didn't know about it, or I wasn't participating in it, or if I found out and it was too egregious, I was like, okay, I'm not hanging with that person anymore. Like, so you know, I don't like that guilty by association type thing, even though that's
You
what
are
the
the
media
company you keep. Isn't
tries
that
to.
what they say?
Yeah, but sometimes you meet the company before they start getting into all kind of crazy things, or you keep company, but you don't know what they're doing. They're doing their things in the dark, and you only know them in the light. So, you know, like I said, a lot of people went to Diddy parties, but they didn't stay at 3 o'clock and hit that fourth floor. Now, you stayed at 3 o'clock and you hit that fourth floor. Now that's a whole nother thing. If I find out LeBron was at Diddy party at 3 a.m. and he had went up to that fourth tier, then I'm like, all right, LeBron, what were you doing? You know, but to the end,
What were you doing? Okay.
right? What were you doing?
Nasir said, "Did you hear recent comments about MJ? This world is all over the place. I have not heard the
Oh
recent
yeah,
comments
yeah,
about
yeah.
MJ. You know, but you
There's a
are right.
video.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but you are right about the world being all over the place. There is, you know, like I mean, honestly speaking, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of celebrities that we look up to, or that we like, or we respect. You know, who we have no idea what they do, you know, or what they've
Right.
done. You know, and if we found out, we're probably like, wow, like he was like that, she was like that all this time, and we just have no clue who they really are. You know, so that's why I always say, you know, even what we see is what they want us to know, you know.
Right.
And that's just that, you know. Behind closed doors, we don't know how the heck anybody's living, you know. So
Yeah.
we just,
That is
you know,
true.
that's that. We just hope that the people that we see are people that we like, that we hope that they're who we think they are. That's really all you can do, you know. It's just, I guess, kind of hope and you know, and hopefully nothing crazy comes out. You know, I really want to know who else is on them videos from them Diddy parties. If I'm being honest, it'll come out someday though. It will.
I don't want that's like, I mean, that's
I don't want to see
porn.
the video, but I want to
It's
know who else was
porn.
in it.
You gonna, in order to see it, you're gonna have to watch porn. I mean, which I have no problem with porn if that's something that you like to do. But I'm just saying, like, that's what's gonna be on those videos. It's gonna be porn, you know, and it's gonna be a lot of Diddy in the porn. And it's, unfortunately, from what I've heard, it's gonna be a lot of Diddy with other men in the porn. It's gonna be a girl in there too, but it's gonna be another man in that porn with Diddy. And yeah, I don't know if I'm interested in seeing anything like that. You know, I'm cool.
I meant just like knowing names. I don't need to actually see it. Like,
Right.
I don't need to see, you know, that kind of
Pause.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking pause,
Right.
DJ.
Right.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here. We've been on here almost 3 hours, you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. To see, I don't know when you popped in here, but thank you so much, DJ. Brother D was in here. Bruce, I think he must have went to bed or something. You know. Who else is in here? Everybody. Aaron was in here. So yeah, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah, shout out to the
anything you want to say before we got out of here?
Shout out to the people on Instagram who chimed in. CJ, my partner CJ, my partner Bam Bam, Sir Bam Bam was in there. My partner
I didn't even see it. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the Instagram. I'm looking at the Instagram. Shout out to my home girl, All Natural 41.
Okay.
I see you in there. And my brother-in-law out in LA, Wayne, he's Wiz the Biz. Yeah, so shout out to him. You know, shout out to everybody who was able to come through and support. We appreciate it for real. It's fun getting to, you know, tell these truths. You know, you might hear some stuff on here you ain't heard before.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Stay safe. It's warming up, y'all. It's warming up here in New York, so stay warm. You know,
we warm
I guess
down here. We in the 60s.
I'm happy it's shifting.
Feel like springtime in the A. Come down here to the A, DJ. You say you want to come down here, man. Come down here, man.
Okay.
When you get down here, we might can hit the city. Might can hit Strokers or something.
What time did you start? I'll watch again tomorrow. We started around 8:45, 8:50 sometime tonight. Somewhere in there, yeah. Because we're almost 3 hours. Actually, a little bit closer to 9. So yeah. All right, you guys. Turn your notifications on. If your notifications are not turned on, make sure you turn them on at One Man Cave, Just Simply Sports with Katja, so that you're not missing nothing. So you're not left out. You know, you're not chiming in or catching on the last couple of minutes we've been on for the past few hours. You feel me? Make sure you on. All right, you guys. Have a good night. God bless you too, Nasir, DJ. Everybody have a good night. All right. See you guys soon.